All right, welcome back to the party, everybody. I am your host, Lutch, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Everybody hit that like and subscribe. You know I would do it for you. And let's party. Big shout out to the replay gang. Thank you so much for coming back to watch this, even though you missed the live party. Guys, that is the best part. So make sure you are here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, and sometimes whenever I feel like it. So hit that subscribe, ring the bell, and you will never miss an Indian Jesus live party ever again. If you'd like to support the channel, head on over to theindianjesus.com for your very own official Indian Jesus merch. We got brand new designs, phone cases, mugs, shirts, all that good stuff at theindianjesus.com. Guys, we do also have a free Discord server. It is absolutely free to join, and I suggest you do. It is a lot of fun. 24/7, we are in there hanging out. And if you join this channel as a member, you can just scroll right below the video here, hit that join button. Got a couple of different tiers here. The lower one just starts at $2.99 a month, and that comes with not only members-only live streams here on YouTube, but like I said, it gives you full access to that Discord server, which includes the after party. As soon as we are done here with this stream, we don't have to worry about any of these YouTube censors, and you are not stuck behind your keyboard. You're actually on screen with me and everybody else in that Discord server in the voice chat. It's a good time. Come and join us. We got Nick in the building. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the party. We got King in the building. Good to see you. Good to see you. So I'm excited for this one, guys. I definitely letting you know right now, they absolutely are going to copyright claim this. They're absolutely going to copyright claim this stream because it's just sometimes you just know. But I got to take the hit for y'all. Donald Trump, our boy, was on this past weekend with Theo Vaughn. So let's do it. Without further ado, guys, as always, if you can into the video, please do let me know.
But your thing is going really great.
It is. And seems like you're the only one.
My son's a big fan of yours, Baron.
Really, Baron is?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
he just graduated high school, right?
That's right. He just did. He knows you very well. He said, Dad, he's big.
Wow.
Yeah, big one.
That's cool.
So that's good.
What,
well, that's where it is nowadays, right?
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. You know, yeah, I can't believe that we're able to get platforms. And I started in my kitchen, and then just evolved out of there.
That's fantastic.
Didn't we all? And now look at Theo at the White House talking to Donald Trump. I actually saw a clip from this on TikTok, and I was like, wait, that didn't really happen, did it? It did.
I mean, it's pretty unbelievable. What does Baron play?
Do you want to start? You go ahead.
Yeah, we're good. Are we rolling?
Yeah, sure.
We're good. Yeah, that's does Baron play sports or anything?
He does. He plays golf and different sports, soccer. Loves soccer. Very good at soccer. He's a good athlete, Baron.
Yeah. Is he going to go? Has he already picked a college or no?
He has, and he's getting set to go in the fall. Good college, a very good one. And
I was going to say, he's going to say
he was always a very good student.
Because that'll be an interesting topic as Barron Trump is in college, as all of the right is talking about how terrible university is. Obviously, depending on what he's doing, if he's going to get an MBA or whatever, that makes sense. But again, I'm curious they didn't say where.
Being set to go in the fall, good college, a very good one. And he was always a very good student. He's smart guy.
Which one of your kids, what's something you admire about each one of your sons?
This is what I love. This is what I love about Theo. That, it's not that Trump doesn't talk about his family and stuff, but the fact that Theo cares so much about the small stuff. This is why I'm going into this conversation blind. I have absolutely no idea what's going to happen. I just usually I'll scroll through to make sure oh, okay, this is good for a show, right? But how could Theo and Trump not be a good show? And just the environment that Theo creates. If you remember, we covered when Sean Strickland was on with Theo Vaughn, the UFC guy who's all gruff and tough and whatever. He ended up crying on the podcast. And again, not a bad thing, meaning he was able to provide that space to one of the toughest guys. And let's see if he can do it again.
Which one of your kids, what's something you admire about each one of your sons?
Well, Don is a hunter. He's a great, great hunter and knows everything about that world and guns and all.
Yeah.
He was the first.
He's also really good at being, kind of a spokesperson for the MAGA movement, for Trump himself. A lot of times, especially like on Timcast, he's been on Timcast multiple times, where you're not necessarily going to be able to get Trump himself, but you get Don Jr., and that's pretty damn close.
About that world and guns and all. He was the first one that said, "Dad, boy, you got lucky," because I didn't realize that 130 yards is actually very close in that parlance. And he said, "You got lucky." He knew immediately when he saw that. He said, "It's incredible," because that's considered a pretty close distance.
From how far the shooter was?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
And then, as you can see, they talk in yards, but it says 410 feet. Wild.
And the guy wasn't a bad shooter, supposedly,
He was a great shooter. I mean, you could say all the horrible things that you want. The dude was a great shooter. Trump is just lucky.
Or disturbed guy, but he wasn't a bad shooter. And Eric, likewise, he loves the business. He loves real estate. Also very much of a hunter and understands a lot of things about that. They were sort of, as young guys, they were with their grandfather, and he would take them hunting in Czechoslovakia. And somehow they developed very well. And
Czechoslovakia,
yeah,
damn.
can you imagine?
It's a lot of letters even.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
That's the name you don't hear too much anymore. But it was...
I'd need a scope just to get through the spelling of that word.
That's right.
I think,
A lot of people.
Yeah.
But so he'd go, they'd spend time in Europe and they'd do that. That's where he learned a lot about both of them, really good.
With your dad, they would go?
No, grandfather, actually. They had a grandfather who was a wonderful outdoorsman and athlete.
Oh, so I guess that's what's her name? What's Don Jr.'s mom's name? Because I know Ivanka, or not Ivanka, Melania is Barron's mom, but not the rest of them, right? What the hell's her name? I know one of you knows it.
Father who was a wonderful.
So I guess it was her
outdoorsman and athlete. And during the summer, he'd take them out into the woods and they'd go hunting and lots of things. And they loved it. They got to love it. And that's Don and that's Eric.
Yeah, they're funny.
Oh, yeah.
They have a good sense of humor, too. Like, whenever I see them at UFC, it's like...
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I just, like... The first time I was nervous, I think. And then after that...
That's how this came together. So because Theo has been, a UFC super fan for a while, and Dana's close with them, I bet you that's the connection.
When I've seen them, it's like it's fun to kind of cut up with them a little bit.
Yeah, well, they're good. They're good guys, and they really they get along great with the rest of the family. We all get along great. We have a good family, but I love UFC. You talk about a great guy. How about Dana White?
Yeah.
The job he does, right?
Yeah, I want to thank Dana too for helping get us set up together.
Yeah.
Called it. And yeah, Dana is amazing, except for raising the pay-per-view prices every goddamn year. I wish I could still afford to be a fan of the sport, but shout out to Dana and the UFC.
Yeah. The job he does, right?
Yeah, I want to thank Dana too for helping get us set up together. Yeah, he makes it happen. I like Dana. He doesn't waste words. He doesn't waste time. He likes to, I think, be efficient, and he has seems like a strong sense of integrity for himself.
Yeah, nobody like him, actually. It's, there's an expression that everybody is replaceable. Not Dana. Yeah. Nobody could do what he does, and he's made that sport into a...
Who's more replaceable, Dana White or Donald Trump?
A big monster sport.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, and we go there and we enjoy it, go with him. Sometimes we do walk-ons with Dana, and place sort of likes it.
Tucker's like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Video of us. I was behind you in one video. I'm sure the dogs here will pull it up. But yeah, those are some of my favorite things ever. UFC became my favorite sport during the pandemic because Dana was brave enough to stay open. He was it.
Yeah. Shout out to Fight Island.
It was the whole ball game. He was the only sport, and he'd open up in arenas with nothing other than very good fighters.
Yeah.
And they would be fighting. He had some of the best fights during the pandemic.
Yeah.
But it
was exceptional. There it is right there. See, look.
Oh,
there you are, and I'm right behind you there.
Oh.
Hey, look at that. Go Theo. Oh, that's dope.
With that hat on, the white guy in the hat.
Great. That's right. The white guy in the hat is right. That's great.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of us there, but I was one of them for sure. Yeah, see, that's me right there.
Good sport, isn't it, huh?
Yeah, I'm a Dustin Poirier fan. So.
Oh, he's great. He was, boy, I tell you, he's a warrior. That last fight he had, Whether you like it or not,
See, like there's just, it pains me. It pains me to have not seen this, but like, I can't afford it, bro. I can't afford to be spending $50 a year just for the platform and then $80 a month plus the commercials and a 7-hour chunk of my weekend. I just don't have the time. I just don't have the time or the money. Shout out to TV Viewerski. Welcome to the party. So this was a refreshing interview. I haven't seen much of it yet, but that's exactly why. Not only did I want to cover it, but I want to go in fresh because I think that again, Theo's just really good at creating that space where you get unique conversations. I was alluding to Sean Strickland when Sean Strickland was literally crying on the podcast, and not as a negative thing. Just being like, go Theo for creating that space, and I'm hoping we get something like that. I mean, I don't think Trump's gonna cry, but hopefully we get something special.
Boy, I tell you, he's a warrior. That last fight he had, whether you like it or not, he is a warrior.
Yeah. It felt like he didn't get the victory, but it didn't feel like he lost.
No, he didn't lose that fight. He really the man he was fighting was tough. He was tough and didn't expect that same fight, but he oftentimes.
So I guess Islam beat him.
He makes people suffer. There's no question about it. No, he's a pro. He's a professional.
Yeah, he's all heart. He's from Louisiana. That's where I'm from.
As that fight went along, he just got stronger and stronger, and he was getting pounded, and he was going to be choked out about 4 different times, and he just wouldn't let it happen. No, you say hello to him. He's good.
Trump, well, maybe. Let's see if this will. So, I think, as of right at this moment in the video, that Trump missed a little opportunity to get deeper with the conversation when Theo said that, because Dustin Poirier is from Louisiana and I'm from Louisiana, that's an opportunity for Trump to talk about the country. Now he's talking to, he's not derailing the conversation. He's going with the conversation, but every moment that there's a camera on you, you should be campaigning. And so maybe it'll even better is that he finished what he was saying and heard the Louisiana thing is going to choose to come back to it. That would be ideal. Shout out to Carl. Welcome to the party. Said UFC is classic Rome. Please enjoy this bread and circuses and ignore the bankers that stole your country. So cynical. Maybe people just like fighting.
Out about 4 different times, and he just wouldn't let it happen. No, you say hello to him. He's good.
Yeah, I'll make sure to.
He's a really great fighter.
And he cooks Thanksgiving dinner every year.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Maybe I'll have to go sometime.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
he must do good food.
He does. Yeah, he does.
See, because now we're still talking about superficial stuff, and we could have been talking about, talk to me about Louisiana. What's been going on in Louisiana? What can I do to make Louisiana better?
Good stuff over there. Yeah, what was the first? Do you remember like the first fight?
And that was the end of the conversation anyway. And now he's just, talking more UFC. Not that I don't want to hear about UFC, but from Trump's perspective, that was a little bit of this, tiny bit, just nitpicking.
He does, yeah. He does some good stuff over there. Yeah, what was the first? Do you remember like the first fight that you ever went to, whether it was UFC or boxing or anything?
Yeah, I do. It was Joe Frazier, Muhammad Ali.
Wow.
In Madison Square Garden many, many years ago. And I think that was the first fight I went to. I always liked the boxing.
How old were you, remember?
Oh boy, I don't know. You can deduct it from what I am now, but it was a long time ago. But they were 2 undefeated fighters. They were both undefeated. Muhammad became a friend of mine. So did Joe, Jolton Joe.
I, for some reason, never got into boxing. Like, I definitely respect what it is, but I think it's one of those things where I wasn't really into combat sports, and then I found I got into UFC or MMA in general. I got into MMA, and then just like they don't hit the same. They call it the sweet science, whereas UFC is a little bit more just plain action.
Muhammad became a friend of mine. So did Joe, Jolton Joe. He was. They were 2 great fights. That fight was incredible. I think they had like many heart attacks that night, literally heart attacks in Madison Square Garden. I think it was Madison Square Garden.
I disagree. I've always loved. That's what I really enjoyed about how UFC is different than other sports. The fact that there is that storyline, that it's sports entertainment, that it was never meant to be. Well, I mean, it was originally meant to be just the best fighter, but then it did evolve into something where it's like, hey, we want to follow these characters, and instead of creating the characters, let's just find real people. So, I mean, I definitely understand that, but I love using, I loved following the fighters. Jolton Joe is Joe DiMaggio. I wouldn't know either way, but that's Trump for you. That's Trump for you.
Literally heart attacks in Madison Square Garden. I think it was Madison Square Garden. And the fight was so unbelievable. 2 undefeated heavyweight champions of the world. There was no UFC and there was no competition really. It was it.
Yeah.
And so you had 2 guys. Remember that Muhammad wasn't allowed to fight because of lots of different things. And he was a terrific guy. Both terrific guys. Very different.
Finally made it happen. They finally made
it
that
happen. So you had 2 undefeated heavyweight champions fighting.
And who took you to the fight? You remember?
I went with my father and my brother, Robert. And it was just, I don't know, I must have been very young. It was a long time ago, but you would never forget it. That was one of those moments.
Oh, yeah.
But no, literally, there were like many heart attacks in the arena.
Just people having too much fun, or what do you think? It was
just
drugs?
having heart attacks because it was such a crazy event.
Oh, yeah.
It was so, the people were just.
Really?
I know a friend of mine, the father.
Did he make that up? Is that a real thing? People were getting carried out from heart attacks at the Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier thing? I kind of feel like you made that up. Were people carried out of the Joe Frazier MSG fight? Let's see. Control F. Heart. Nope. I think he made it up, but that's all right. That's all right. We love him anyway. We love him anyway. TV Viewerski said I was 5 years old when that fight went down. I remember the adults talking about it. All right, so maybe that was just when the papers just wouldn't have necessarily covered stuff like that. You're 5 years old. So what year was that?
What do you think? It was drugs?
Having heart attacks because it was such a crazy event.
Oh, yeah.
It was so, the people were just, I know a friend of mine, the father, he had a bad heart attack. Literally, they took him out. They were taking people out.
It's an early KO.
And I don't hear that anymore. I mean, there were other exciting sporting events. I don't think there's ever been, I don't know, I guess there has, but you would think Joe Frazier, Muhammad Ali.
I was going to say there's never been something like that. I mean, I've never really heard of any sports event having people just passing out from heart attacks. I feel like I would hear about that because of the fact that was the only one, or that, it's going to, that's something that they would use in sports promotion. Like, just like the fight of the century, people are going to be passing out in their seats. Go and see this, and you don't want to miss it. Oh.
I don't know. I guess that has, but you would think Joe Frazier, Muhammad Ali, their first fight, but it was a very exciting time.
Well, yeah, and just people being, I guess, sometimes our systems aren't ready to handle the amount of excitement that's going on, Like, I think, maybe people just couldn't even handle so much joy. You think it was that people were just so excited.
They had heart attacks. Yeah. I mean, they just had, I guess they do it. Maybe Super Bowls or something.
Oh, people have heart attacks eating a thick soup, So it's like, I'm not surprised that something so awesome like that would make your heart be like, yeah, I'm out.
Yeah, but I never hear of it.
Yeah. Okay. How often is there? No. How do we want to ask this? How common is it for large groups of people in the crowd of a sporting event to have heart attacks because the event is so good? Okay, extremely rare. have been isolated cases. Did this happen at all with during the Joe? I'm gonna spell it wrong again. I don't care. Frazier fight with Lee at dun 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 dun. Okay, there's no record of large groups of people in the crowd having heart attacks during the event. However, there were reports of individual spectators experiencing severe stress or heart-related issues during the tension and excitement of the fight. This is not uncommon in highly charged sporting events, especially in an era when such events were often attended by a large number of people with a wide range of health conditions. And then I guess if you take into the fact that, like, you know, these days they have like the fire marshals, and you can only have so many people, and it has to be a certain temperature, and yada yada yada. So I'll take it. I'll take it. We'll go with a maybe. We'll go with a maybe. Maybe they're maybe. That yeah, that's a good one. All right, what's the copy pasta. The exact ratio is difficult to determine. 1 to 2 per 1,000 per year. Heat, age and health, excitement or stress, pre-existing stuff. So I mean, yeah, I mean, maybe it happened, maybe it didn't. I'm okay with that. Maybe it happened, maybe it didn't. It's certainly not impossible. Definitely not a hard record of it, but it was there. TV said one thing I do remember from back then was everyone smoked. That's a good point too. So we'll leave it at a maybe. We'll leave it at a maybe.
Awesome, like that would make your heart be like, yeah, I'm out.
Yeah, but I never hear of it, you know, and I'm sure it happens. Just that one. But we had an exciting event the other night with Elon Musk and me. I
listened.
We had a pretty big audience for that.
So did we.
I can tell you.
Yeah, I listened for probably about like 20 minutes. I thought it was cool. It was. I think
we took the whole goddamn thing.
The tough part was just like just like it would have been neat if you guys could have been in the same spot, you know. But I still thought it was exceptional.
I heard the audio was great, and actually they put out a clear tape of it because they had clear tape.
Oh, nice.
They had so.
Yeah, I remember there was the one part where it sounded like where Trump was had like dentures that were like falling out. He was talking like this, and it was really weird. I don't. People were saying that sometimes Twitter Spaces will do that, but I don't know. I wouldn't say good. It definitely, I agree with Theo that like they should have been in a central location. Like it should have been in a location together with one audio source, so that it could still be a space. But you guys see the problem with spaces if you've been in them, that it's a little hard to navigate, and you might talk over each other, and then you're waiting for the other person to talk, and then they don't talk, so you start talking to fill the space, and then they start talking, so you start all that kind of stuff. Carl said, I would guess most of that stress was from sports betting, which is bigger than ever. Then wouldn't we expect more? I guess. So then it has to be all the other stuff, because if that was the main thing and there's more sports betting now, then we would expect more people would be passing out. But that probably speaks to how bad people really were. They were, just drinking, drugs, hot, smoking, all that stuff. It
was great. And actually they put out a clear tape of it because they had clear tape.
Oh, nice.
They had so many millions and millions of people watching, like record numbers of people. And I'm trying to figure out, we're on a cell phone, or I was, and that's a lot of people coming into a cell phone one way or the other.
Yeah.
But I heard some people had a problem with the audio. I don't know. I don't do that thing. That was done. And we had a great conversation. It was for 2 hours and 15 minutes.
And again, if you did not see it and you want to get my commentary, I did break that down. I don't know, the day after they did it or 2 days after, you can find it.
Put out a clear tape of it, a perfect tape of it. But yeah, I sounded, somebody said your voice was distorted or something. And
your teeth were falling out.
I guess it happens. Look, it was such a big thing, such a big audience. But I would have loved to have seen the clear tape originally. They put it out right after the show, so now it's a clear tape where a perfect tape done there.
Yeah.
But
Hey, Donnie boy, is it a clear tape or no?
when it goes through different phone systems and everything else, you think if we were together, that doesn't happen then,
Right.
because I think his voice was more clear. Than
Yeah, maybe
mine.
because he was the one who was like initiating the call. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure about how.
Guys,
how
does
all
it
that
matter?
works.
What are we
I mean,
doing?
I know that in post, a lot of times they can tighten things up and make it better. You know, yeah, it's amazing how Elon, like, the cost to really have your own voice in the world is $44 billion, basically.
Well,
If you
Right,
want to
that's
have
a
your
good
voice,
line.
like
That's a good line right there.
Elon, like, the cost to really have your own voice in the world is $44 billion, basically.
Facts. That's the only way you can do it. And even still, he's from the beginning, he's dealt with people trying to fight him every step of the way.
Basically.
well,
If you
Right.
want to have your voice, like, you know what I'm saying? He has his own channel.
and he does what he wants to do.
Yeah.
And he's a fantastic guy, and he's a brilliant person, and the country should be very proud of him. Actually, I have Truth, which has been very successful.
True Social, you mean?
True Social, yeah.
Has it though? Put a 1 in the chat if you even have a Truth Social account. King said he's stressing it so much, I'm suspicious. Stressing what? That the sound was good? I think that's just Trump being Trump. Truth Social was cheaper? Cheaper than what? But yeah, but that's my cheaper than Twitter. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Does anybody have a Truth Social account? I don't have a Truth Social account. Nick said that would make sense because you don't want to have the mob after you to collect their money from you and break your legs for not paying right away. For sure. Shout out to Vam Fashions in the building. Welcome to the party. So pretty sure Taylor Swift didn't pay $44 billion, yet her voice is heard everywhere in the world. Right. But if she just decided to be like, I'm for Trump now, do you think we would hear that? Not for long. Not for long. Welcome to the party.
I have Truth, which has been very successtional.
True Social, you mean?
True Social, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's just Trump being like, well, no, we had the best sound. Nobody sounded better ever. Nah, I don't know. Got off Twitter in 2013. I mean, that was a good time to get off, but now is a good time to get back on.
I have Truth, which has been very successful.
True Social, you mean?
True Social, yeah. And that's been very successful in getting my voice out. Well, I needed a voice because, I was on Twitter and I was on Instagram. I was on all of it. And
he needs to come back. He needs to come back and be more like it's been enough time. It's been enough time to see if people are going to follow you over there, and they're just not. You're just speaking to your most ardent base. That's just not the way you're going to reach people, and you can see it in the news cycle. He's not creating the news cycle anymore. In 2016, he just had to tweet something, and we talk about it for 3 days, and it's just like, bro, Truth Social ain't it. That's not it. Vamp said half her fans are for President Trump, so it wouldn't cost her anything, and the platforms need her billions fans interactions. All right, well, I'm not going to argue about that, but the point is that is not what Theo was saying when he was saying you need to buy a platform. That's not what Taylor Swift does, and speaking. It's not the same thing. I get what you're saying. Like, obviously, Donald Trump didn't buy Truth Social, or Donald Trump didn't buy Twitter. I'm listening to his voice right now. I didn't buy shit, and you're listening to my voice right now. Obviously, your voice can be heard. That was not the point that was being made. So yes, you are correct. People can hear Taylor Swift's voice. Good job. King said your impressions on point lately. Your Fauci is great. That one is up there. My Trump is not good. I don't something if I can hear him and then I can mimic him right away, then I can do it, but I can't do a good impression.
Twitter, and I was on Instagram. I was on all of it, and I was on Facebook. And when you added it up, I was told by Zuckerberg and others, it was like record-setting type of numbers. And then one day I didn't have anything because they canceled.
There's such a collusion there, right?
Yeah, it was a pretty bad thing.
big word for Theo there.
And so I had nothing. So after about a month, I have a lot of things to say. And after about a month, I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just go out and put out an old public relations statement. You remember that? And although you're a little young to see it, but in the old days, you'd put out a statement. And I did, and it was just gobbled up. It was
thank you very much. No, see, that was bad. That was bad. I'm trying too hard now.
You really gobbled up, and I opened Truth, and Truth has become terrific, actually, for me.
Platform.
I really want just as a platform. I mean, it's more important than anything else. And
at least you have your voice. Then you can say what you want to say.
My voice back, yeah. I had.
But what good is your voice if nobody's listening? What good is your voice if the only time people hear it is when it echoes on Twitter?
Hundreds of millions of people. Even now, I haven't been too active on X, but I have, I guess, 90 some odd million people on it.
As opposed to, if you saw, he had 60 million on when they showed the Truth Social thing. Where is it? I don't know where it is, but it said 60 million. So if you have 90 some odd million people on X, and you have only 2/3 of that, and the 2/3 of that you already know are in your pocket, why are you not speaking to the people who maybe you could bring on board instead of those who are already there?
X, but I have, I guess, 90 some odd million people on it. But I was much higher than that when I was
It's like
actually
all the people. I don't even know how many people there are.
Yeah, it's been, but I love the job he's done, and he's brought a certain voice back into play.
Yeah.
The previous people were terrible, terrible.
Yeah.
Every time you do a thing, you'd be red flagged. They'd put up a red flag. Every statement you made, you'd be red flagged.
Or worse, just shadow banned. And you'd think that, oh, I got a great tweet, or I got a great video, I got a great whatever. You put it out there. And nothing. Now, obviously, that still happens on YouTube and everywhere else, but at least with Twitter, like, you'll know if you're getting community noted. Carl said, I wouldn't date Taylor Swift, and I'm a 3 at best. I really don't get the appeal. She's just going to make your life miserable, then ditch you and write a terrible song about it. Lose situation. Oh, I mean, I ain't kicking her out of bed, so you do you. But I definitely would date Taylor Swift. To each their own. To each their own.
Every time you do a thing, you'd be red flagged. They'd put up a red flag. Every statement you made, you'd be red flagged.
Yeah, it's almost like, it's like when you have a babysitter and they don't want to have any fun or whatever.
Yeah.
That's kind of the vibe I got. When you because I see you at the fights. I see you sometimes. You'll sit right by Dana, and sometimes I'll sit like me. I'll go with like David Spade sometimes as a close friend of mine.
Good.
And
shout out to Vaughn. I don't know if this is real or not, but said Theo is my brother in real life. Well, if that is true, then your brother is awesome, and please ask him or his management company not to copyright claim this, because it is indeed free use, but fair use. But welcome, Theo Vaughn's brother. Good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome to the party.
Sometimes I'll sit like me. I'll go with like David Spade sometimes as a close friend of mine.
Good.
And I'll see you coming with Kid Rock, and and you don't drink at the fights.
By the way, Kid Rock is he's terrific. He came to the convention. He knocked everybody out. He's a great guy. He's just a great guy. He's popular, very popular.
Oh, he's a real dirt serpent too, dude. He's a freaking legend,
A dirt serpent. I love Theo. And it's like, people like Kid Rock fascinate me. I want to know who's Kid Rock's biggest fan? Like, just based on the music. Like, I love his politics and I love this and that, but it's really about the music. Like, who is that person? I just want to know. He's a real dirt serpent too, dude. He's a freaking legend, He's a legend.
He is a legend, I guess, in a true sense.
Oh, 100%. People love him, dude. Look at him. I went to his show not long ago somewhere. And people, I think some guy had a heart attack there too, but it was like funnel cake related, I think, type of vibes.
He draws big crowds.
I was gonna say we're starting a pattern here, but if it was funnel cake, then I don't know.
Funnel cake related, I think, type of vibes.
He draws big crowds. Actually, it's amazing. I saw one. He was out someplace recently at 80,000 people. He's big stuff, but he's forget about that. I call him Bob. His name Bob, right? It's Bob Kid Rock, but it's Bob. But he's a really good guy. And
I've been over to his house.
Bob Rock. But what did he say?
But he's
Oh,
really,
yeah.
forget about that. I call him Bob, his name Bob, right? It's Bob Kid Rock, but it's Bob. But
Oh, I thought he was making a joke about his name. What is his name? Robert something or another.
he's a really good guy. And
Yeah, I've been over to his house
he's a
a
cool
bunch.
cat, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Cool
I mean,
cat.
I live in Nashville. Right when I got in
I tell you, he's a cool cat. One of the coolest.
in the town, he hit me up one night and was like, "Hey man, I'm having a birthday party this week and you should come." And I didn't even know him, and it was
Right.
nice of him. And since then, we've done a lot of fun stuff together. His
good.
brother's missing a leg too,
Yeah,
which
his
is crazy.
brothers.
Bon says we are half Nicaraguan and half welder. They say we're Nicka welders. There you go. There you go. The poll results kind of say everything. What? I think we're on different pages tonight, Vamp. I'm not really sure what you're on about. TV said Bob Rock. He taught Hetfield how to sing one note at a time. One note at a time. That's how you do it.
Nice of him. And since then, we've done a lot of fun stuff together. His
good.
brother's missing a leg too,
Yeah,
which
his
is crazy.
brothers.
He looks like
It's
the lamp.
great.
Have you ever seen that movie, The Lamp, like from like a Christmas Story or whatever?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Fragile. Must be Italian.
He's fantastic. The family, the father, I knew very well. He just passed away, and it was tough.
Oh, you knew
for-
his dad?
for the brother. I did, and he.
Yes, there was a poll about cocaine, which pretty much is even because they're about to go and talk about drugs. What does that say? Everything about everything. Or are you just being salty because you said something random and I addressed that it was random? It had nothing to do with the point that we were talking about. And now you're going to clink out because you're mad at me. Shout out to Nordic Born. Welcome to the party. Skull to you, sir. It's going to be a crazy election, indeed. They are riling them liberals up at the DNC. Oh, I was just watching some of the highlights from last night, and they are dragging out lies from years and years and years ago. So crazy indeed. Welcome to the party.
And it was tough.
Oh, you knew his dad?
For the brother. I did, and he was fantastic.
Yeah.
I got to know him through.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, yes, won by 8 points. But what does that say about? What does that say about anything? What do we? I don't get it. I don't get it. Almost half the people here have tried cocaine. What I don't. What does that say about anything? You were mad about Taylor Swift. What does that say about Taylor Swift? Thought you were about to leave.
For the brother. I did, and he was fantastic.
Yeah.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't love A Christmas Story? Ralphie, I can't get up. There's so many quotable moments in that movie.
Tough.
Oh, you knew his dad?
For the brother. I did, and he was fantastic.
Yeah.
I got to know him through knowing Bob. And I tell you what, it's just a fantastic family, the whole family.
Yeah. No, I love Bob. He and I joke around together a lot. We've spent a lot of time together. Look at his brother right there.
That's right.
Dude hit.
Whoa. This guy, I was not expecting to see that. Okay.
He and I joke around together a lot. We've spent a lot of time together. Look at his brother right there.
That's right.
Dude hits.
And you know what? He
dingers,
plays
too.
golf and he plays well. He hit a perfect drive with me. I said, "Do you play?" We were on the 17th hole.
That's wild. That the amount of balance that you need to be with one leg. I mean, I know they say let the club do the work, but still.
Did you play? He goes, "Yes." I said, "Oh, really? You want to hit a shot?" And he said, "Okay." And he got up. Well, it was very hard for him to put it was really a tough situation because he has to get the ball in the ground and the tee and everything else. Nobody did it for him. And he did it. I mean, he goes to the ground and he did it, gets up. He swung. And I'm a good golfer. He had a perfect shot out to the right with a little hook. Nobody knows what that means
That's what she said.
in your audience probably, but that's like a perfect shot. And I said, "That is perfect." He said, "I'll do it again." I said, "Don't do it again because you'll never be able to hit a shot that good."
Yeah, Nordic Born saying this is how Trump wins by going on podcasts that show a little different side of Trump, not just the policies. And yeah, as they get a little bit further, I saw the clip that I saw. They were talking about Theo's drug addiction and stuff. And as somebody who's been a drug addict myself, then it's a really interesting and refreshing perspective of who this person is. And when you have when you compare that to Kamala just putting out these little snippets of things saying this or that, or we're gonna no tax on tips, and well, $5,000 tax credit, that's too much, but we're gonna do 6,000. It's like, well, who are you? You're just that lady that we've known about. Who are you? You're just that lady. And it's, I don't know, it's cringe. But yeah, absolutely agree. TV said Trump is going to talk a lot about his brother. I can imagine. Because he was the one that was it a drunk driving accident? Or am I mixing that up? I don't know. Well, say.
And it was really amazing. He's great. And Bob really
He'll do it again too.
He's
a repeat offender.
I'm still trying to figure out what this means. Family. Like the whole show, the name of the show is Donald Trump Explores Drug Addiction. Then I have a poll about drugs, and that says that I'm still trying. Does anybody know what this means? I'm so confused, and I would love to understand. Carl said, Kamala isn't good at humaning. It's common among lizard people. Indeed. Hey, shout out to Zippy DSM Lee with the Rumble rant. Said, I haven't risen. Wait. Why am I catnapping in the litter box again? Don't do that. Don't do that. But, of course, every donation comes with a treat for Morty, and that makes you the new sponsor of the stream. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so very, very much, sir.
And Bob really
He'll do it again too.
He's a repeat
offender.
They're
great.
They really have an amazing family. They love
Bob's great. I've been to parties at his house. One thing that's really nice about him is I'll go do something with him, and then like a few days later, he'll send a nice note, or he'll send like a photo, like a frame photo, and just say, "Hey man, I had a nice time."
Yeah,
that's an underrated thing. Hold on, give me 1 second. Shout out again to Zippy. Thank you. That's an underrated thing. The thank you note. And I definitely regret my college graduation party. My parents threw me a party, and a lot of people came and gave envelopes with a nice little gift. And my parents were on me to make sure you get out those thank you notes, and I just kind of like never did, and I regret that. I feel like that's kind of shitty because I definitely spent all that money. Most of it on drugs, but the acknowledgement that you appreciate somebody can go a lot farther than you think. A lot. Nordic Born said the left has vilified him, but if the undecided sees the personal side, it could help. Definitely. Absolutely. And shout out to our boy Morty.
We'll send like a photo, like a frame photo, and just say, "Hey man, I had a nice time."
Aww.
Yeah. I noticed at the events you don't drink or smoke, right?
I don't drink or smoke.
You never have.
No.
Oh well, that tells us everything.
I never have. I've had a great brother who taught me a lesson: don't drink, and he said don't smoke. He smoked and he drank, and he was a great guy. He was a very handsome guy.
Is he older? He was older,
quite a bit older, yeah. And he had a problem with alcohol and smoke a lot. But I tell people, no drugs, no drinking, no cigarettes.
Yeah.
Shout out to Matthew King in the building. Welcome to the party. Yeah, so thank you notes are a lost art, but they are amazing to receive. And that's So learn from my mistakes. Don't just brush off the thank you notes, because I'm sure there's a lot of people that I probably wasn't ever going to talk to them again anyway. But if I did in the future, I guarantee you some of them are going to remember. Hey, remember we went to his graduation party 15, 20, 30 years ago, and we gave him an envelope with $200, and then he just never heard from him again? I probably would. I probably would remember it. Welcome to the party, Matthew.
Smoke a lot, but I tell people, no drugs, no drinking, no cigarettes.
Yeah.
I tell that to my kids all the time. I'd say no drugs, no drinking, no smoke. And
It was tough.
He had, well, he'd always tell me, he'd say never. So he was, you know, really old enough that you would look up to somebody, and I'd look up to him anyway.
Did you admire him?
Yeah, I admired a lot, so much about him. He had so much going. He had the look. He
What was
had
his name?
unbelievable personality, like an incredible personality.
What was his name, Donald?
His name was Fred Trump.
Donald? Just calling him Donald. Just calling the former president Donald. Hey, Donald. What was his name? Donald?
Donald?
His name was unbelievable personality, like an incredible personality.
What was his name, Donald?
Only Theo. Only Theo could get away with that. It would be, I mean, it would be a news story that like somebody was disrespecting the president, and then Theo just being Theo. Where are we? Zippy says Grace is tough. My 90-something-year-old grandma and her sister spent a week writing Christmas letters a couple decades ago when they were alive. They were 2 of 9 or 10 siblings. Yeah. My mom is the oldest of 7. So they used to have bigger families back in the day. Boom, 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 boom. We got you on that. All right, let's dive back in here.
Unbelievable personality, like an incredible personality.
What was his name, Donald?
His name was Fred Trump. And he had a problem with alcohol. He got addicted to it because it's, and you know, they say alcohol is tougher than drugs to get off of. I don't know if you've ever heard that.
I'm in recovery, actually. I've been in recovery.
Here we go.
Like most of the last.
So I did put a new poll that may or may not tell us everything. Is abstinence, meaning not, living like Trump, not taking a sip of alcohol, never trying a drug, never doing any of that, is that the best way to live? Yes, no, or only if you have addiction issues. Those are the options. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Replay gang, is abstinence the best way to live? Yes, no, or only if you have addiction issues.
I'm
in recovery, actually. I've been in recovery, so like most of the last 10 years.
From alcohol?
From drugs and alcohol.
So which is worse?
For me, drugs is the problem, but if I have a drink, then it's tougher for me to prevent myself from getting it.
So before they dive into that, let me just kind of give some context to those of you who are not familiar with my own drug use. It's not a long story, but I was straight edge in high school, and then when I went to a party my spring break senior year and smoked for the first time. So I actually smoked before I drank, but I smoked and I was like, yo, I love this. Being straight edge was just an excuse that I used because I had strict parents and I wasn't going to be able to get away with sneaking out and drinking and doing that stuff. Anyway, I was like, there was a big music scene where I was growing up, and being straight edge was, seen as cool. So I was like, all right, well, I'm not going to be able to get fucked up anyway. Maybe, at least let me get some cool points for it. So I was straight edge, and I just lived that way. But then, somebody offered me something at a party, and just weed, and I just smoked it and enjoyed the hell out of it. Then eventually I was like, fuck it. I like this. And then, just did that, smoking and drinking, and I go to college, and I was pretty much, smoking from morning to night, drinking whenever, but more of a pothead. And then it was like my late junior or early senior year where I met up with a group of people who introduced me to the harder stuff. And we got into doing a bunch of pills. And I after my best friend died, I did do heroin a couple times. I only snorted it. I've never shot anything up. But even at that point, in the thick of everything, I was like, hey, yo, this is too much. Like, I'll stick with the pills. And then, I was doing that for a while, and there you go. Smoking pot before you get drunk. That's the way to do it. But yeah, and then I didn't have some, rock bottom moment. I just, was living, and, all my money was going to getting fucked up, weed, blues, Xanax, stuff like that. And, having to pay for the only thing I could eat, the only thing I could afford to eat was, when the dollar menu still existed, and I'd be going and finding coins in the couch and all that stuff. And I just had to make a decision. I was like, well, either this is my life and I'm going to be a drug addict, or I got to switch it up now while it's still something that I have that opportunity. And so, I mean, it wasn't easy, and I didn't do it right away. I had to try it a number of times, but I got away from that, and I still use kratom to help me with certain things, and then I do take anxiety medication from a doctor as prescribed. But yeah, it was harrowing, and now I'm at a place where I don't even feel that like I drink every show. I drink not every day, but whenever I'm down here, if I go out, I'll have a drink, and it's not a big deal. But if something was around, I could be rather easily tempted. But mainly because I know that if I don't have like a steady supply, that I'm not gonna go seek it out. So like if I was at a party and somebody had some blow, hell yeah, I'm doing some blow. I never had a problem with blow. I'm good. But even if somebody had some blues somewhere, might be like, it's been a while, do it. And I don't know you. I'm not gonna be able to contact you and make sure, if I'm feeling, let me just hit him up and then whatever. But that's not that's I mean, I haven't done it in years. I haven't done coke in probably 4 or 5 years, and I haven't done pills in probably like 7 or 8 years. So yes. Shout out to RJ Creeft. Said your voice sooner sounds very opium induced. Well, I mean, lots of opiates. I guess that'll do that to you. Welcome to the party. TV said, pro tip, only use drugs that do not have a nitrogen atom. Which drugs are those? I want to do those right now. Matthew said, I feel stronger for going down that road, but life would have been much easier on the straight and narrow path. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, there's definitely an empowerment knowing that you can get that close to the edge. Again, all of my friends ended up in rehab. All of my friends were ended up doing heroin. And so, realizing that, the big thing for me was I took breaks. And so I understood. And again, I apologize if you heard this before, but the movie Saw, the let's play a game. If you've seen that, spoiler alert if you haven't, the first Saw movie, there's a doctor and guy, and they're locked in a room, and they've got to get out. And at the end of the movie, the doctor realizes he's got to saw off his leg. And the way that he figures this out is, looking around the room and seeing all these clues and figuring out that there is a plan. And this guy's there, and the other guy is saying, like, seems like you're admiring the guy that abducted us, or something like that. And he said something that always stuck with me. And I didn't know that it would stick with me until the moment I was about to snort those drugs for the first time. And again, we're talking about the Saw movies. And he said, as a doctor, that in order to treat an illness, you have to be aware of what it can do to you. And applying that to the kidnapper, then it was, we have to understand the monster that we're dealing with in order to defeat him. And so for whatever reason, that notion popped into my head the first time I was doing hard drugs. And well, maybe not the first time, because the first time I did a hard drug was like ecstasy. But I mean, the first time I was doing like a not party drug. And I just knew that if I just went every day just doing this, I'd be fucked. And so I would do like, 2 or 3 days on, and then I'd let myself feel like shit for like 2 or 3 days just to like get it out of my system. And I did that for years. Half of my time was spent just feeling like shit, just so that I could get high and guilt-free. And it's not like I avoided any kind of withdrawal type symptoms, but I mean, as Matthew said, it's been much easier on the straight and narrow path. So that's my story. That's where I'm coming.
The problem, but if I have a drink, then it's tougher for me to prevent myself from getting
it sets off a chain.
Yeah.
But which is harder to quit? I've heard alcohol is harder to quit than drugs, if that makes sense.
I would say that may be true, only because alcohol is so prevalent in society. Like if you're a cokehead and then you stop doing like it's just out of your life. But like you're not going to get alcohol out of your life. You might get alcohol out of your home, but alcohol is everywhere. And I had somebody who was I was working with them at the time. This was after I was done with the pills, but I was on probation, so I couldn't smoke. So I ended up drinking a lot more, which ended up leading me to do a bunch of coke. And he told me that this was another person that I worked with. He told me that he'd both been a gambling addict as well as an opiate addict, and he would take the opiate addiction every day because, like, you're not gonna get sick from gambling too much. You might lose your goddamn house, but you can just, if you're in it, you can just go. Whereas with really any drug, at a certain point, your body's gonna be like, all right, enough is enough. And scary stuff.
Harder to quit. I've heard alcohol is harder to quit than drugs, if that makes sense. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I mean, I can only imagine because it's probably more readily available.
More readily, well, and it's social, and you're sitting and everyone's drinking and all.
Yeah, rarely do you go to a dinner and everybody's eating, like, you know.
What's C21? Let's see. C21 H3 looks like 002. Hey, let's go. THC, the way to be if you are of age.
And everyone's drinking and all.
Yeah, rarely do you go to a dinner and everybody's eating, like, you know, Xanaxes or something, you know, for appetizers. Usually people are having like a mint, you know, a mint julep or something a little fancier, Negroni, I just learned about.
Right.
But yeah.
So you have a problem with that.
Yeah. Matthew said gambling and alcohol are both everywhere, much harder to walk away from, which also speaks to the notion if you have a food addiction, whether you are eating too much or you are anorexic or something like that, then again, the relationship that you have, like, I just haven't done any of those drugs and I've been good. I don't really think about them. I don't crave them. There is this weird thing. Maybe you guys, the 42% of you have tried Coke before. Maybe this happens to you. Maybe I just have a really, just an addict's brain. But every once in a while, I will, you know, just be breathing normal and I'll get a whiff, a phantom whiff of what smells like a fat line of Coke just right there. If you could imagine that, you know, you got your glass, and if you were to just put it right there, it's some decent stuff, maybe not the greatest stuff you ever had, but you know what it is, about this far away. Every once in a while, I'll just be breathing normally, and I'll get that like aftertaste. Does that happen to anybody else, or is that just me? Because it is pretty, it's not that frequent, but it is definitely very regular. Maybe like once a month at least. King said alcohol is harder to quit in terms of the withdrawal symptoms. Definitely. Yeah. Alcohol and benzos are going to be the worst because they can literally kill you. Like getting off of heroin or the blues or something like that. You might want to die, but you'll be good. When it comes to, Xanax or alcohol, it literally can kill you. Next, I think if you go too far, alcohol is the worst. Definitely for me. It's one of the few things that can kill you from the detox, just like Xanax. Yep. And those are the benzos. I've seen people shake until the first drink. Yeah. Yep. All right. There we go. He's like, I can smell it right now. That's what you're talking about. All right. It's not just me. There's some neural pathway that, and then, you know, my sister's getting married this weekend. I'm hoping somebody brings some sun. Like, come on. It's a wedding, y'all. I don't think anybody's going to bring anything, but a boy can dream.
Negroni, I just learned about.
Right.
Negroni.
But yeah.
So you have a problem with that then?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
It's been in my family. My family, it's like
Same. My dad's dad was, I always forget the right way to say this, but the ambassador to Venezuela of Trinidad and Tobago. He was the Trinidad and Tobago guy in Venezuela at the embassy. So the wedding. We're definitely not doing, well, I mean, I'll do blow at a funeral. I'm just saying, I'm not expecting people to bring anything. And yeah, I probably wouldn't have said my sister's funeral. Did I say my sister's funeral? Did I say that? There's no way I said that. You guys would have all caught that. What was I saying? Well, that's my train of thought.
Problem with that then?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's been in my
in my family. Yeah. So my dad's dad was, you know, a political schmoozer guy. And he died at 49 because just drinking and smoking and all that stuff. And it really affected my dad in the sense that he doesn't like I mean, he'll drink, but like my parents don't like imbibe like that. My mom rarely will even have a sip of anything anymore. I'm sure she'll have like a glass of champagne at the funeral, no, at the wedding. But yeah, like that's it. And I think it has a lot to do with how my dad went. Yep, me too. The last so the shout out to CBS. Fuck you, CBS. Just decided that they, well, I don't want to give away too much information, but they didn't want to fill my script anymore. So they're just like, nope, you're screwed. Figure it out. Luckily, I got it figured out. But like, this is my life. Like, as we've been talking about, if I don't take this shit, I will die. Now, I'm not gonna let myself die. Now, I if I have to, I know where to find street Xanax, but I don't want to. Yeah, right. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. But my family, my family. I'm hoping her friends maybe get down, like to get down, but even still, probably not. But we'll see. We'll see. She wasn't a sorority, so.
But yeah.
That's worth.
So you have a problem with that then?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I would expected Theo to be, oh yeah.
No.
Right.
But yeah.
So you have a problem with that?
Oh
then?
yeah.
Oh,
That's
wow.
what I would have expected.
It's been in my family. My family, it's like, yeah.
Can you stay away?
And that's the thing. They can just be like, nah, sorry. There's this, and we got a rejection thing, so you can't do it. And it's like, well, I need it today. What do you want me to do? Don't care. Like, come on, dude. Like, don't have this shit available if you're gonna put me in the position of yeah, exactly. It just cut you off. It's insane. It's insane. Like, at the very, whatever the problem is, they should at least be able to say, okay, hey, for whatever reason, we can't fill your script anymore, but we don't want you to die. So this is your last one. Figure it the fuck out. Okay, at least now I have a month to figure it out instead of 6 hours. Like, come on. And then, of course, in those 6 hours, because it's such a short period, it's like, oh my God, what's going on? And the anxiety that is supposed to be treated by the medication is then overridden by the amount of stress that's caused by not being able to get the medication. Oy, hey. Shout out to Am. Welcome to the party. We got Donald Trump here talking to Theo Vaughn about getting fucked up.
It's been in my family. My family, it's like, yeah.
Can you stay away from it?
Yeah, I've done a good job. I mean,
so how long have you been off?
I go to recovery meetings. I've been off most recently a little over 2 years.
Do you ever go back on?
Yeah, I've had stints where I go back on and
yeah, well, he said on and off for the last 10 years. So his last stint was 2.5 years. And I remember I was listening to the podcast semi-regularly when 2 years ago, semi-regularly, like not every episode, but I was keeping up with Theo, and it's odd to be able to tell there's something off. And then in hindsight, he would say like, oh, I fell off the wagon. Makes sense. So absence from everything. It's the same as mortgage insurance. Once you make a claim, they can drop you. It's BS. Oh, I mean, true, but I don't think you're going to die if you don't get mortgage insurance today. But point taken. We got DT in the building. Welcome to the party. So you can do it. Stop thinking about it. What am I not thinking about? I don't know what we're talking about, but welcome to the party.
A little over 2 years.
Do you ever go back on?
Yeah, I've had stints where I go back on
and you don't control it.
It's tough. It goes downhill pretty
kidding.
quick.
So
you think it's going to be easy.
You think you're controlling it.
And then you're damn. Yeah, you're doing go-kart and racing.
And the amount of, or not the level of care that Trump has here. Now, earlier, I talked about how, Trump missed opportunity for you to make yourself look good in a political context when Theo brought up Louisiana, and Trump didn't take that to talk about what's going on in Louisiana. But maybe he's playing that 3D chess again. And it's like, I'm not here to campaign. I'm here to be a real person and have a conversation. and I don't drink or I've never taken a drink and I don't do drugs, but I have someone across from me who struggles with that actively. And he's asking questions and he's being curious because he cares, but he's also being very respectful and very, very, very demure. You know what? That's funny, you know. But yeah. Yeah, the scam of paying for false security. That I can definitely agree is the case. Definitely. Yeah, that false security. That especially when the fucking bottle says 5 refills left. It's like, all right, good. I don't got to deal with it. I just call the number. Make sure it's good. Go there and good. In 6 months, we'll see if they're gonna be on some bullshit again. False security. False security.
You think you're controlling it.
And then you're damn. Yeah, you're doing go-kart and racing with hookers and stuff. It gets bad.
Just not to do it, right?
Right. So then in the end, you're like, I have to not do it. Did you see, like, with your brother, could you see it or anything? Like,
yeah.
Man.
Good question.
I was amazed because he gets...
Again, put a 1 in the chat if you've heard Donald Trump himself speak at length about his brother's addiction issues.
So much going and everything going. I think it happened in college at a fraternity maybe, or I don't know, somewhere along the line it happened. And all of a sudden, this is not unique. This is a very common story, unfortunately, but, and then the family would see it and start to notice it. And it didn't get better. It didn't get better. I was amazed, he lived for so long in bad conditions, in terms of, I was amazed that his body could hold out. It held out.
So one person here has heard Trump talk about a very harrowing and relatable experience. What? And King, did you mention that this was a refreshing interview? Are you talking about hearing it from this interview? Because that's the point that I'm making. Outside of this interview, we don't get that. And so maybe it's a good thing that he was like, that was a great opportunity to talk about Louisiana, but I'm going to hold off. That's not what we're doing here. I'm just being, I'm just being me. I'm just being a person. So Nick's heard it too. All right. So yeah. And I mean, I've heard him reference it, but I mean, talk about it at length. And, even for those of us here, a couple of you have, but most of us haven't. And here we go. So this is exactly what his campaign needs.
Conditions, in terms of, I was amazed at
that's what I've heard, that he's referenced it and talking about why he doesn't drink, but that's about all I know. And so, like, the question of could you tell, was it bad? Like, because that's you can't always tell. There's a lady on TikTok that I follow who used to be an alcoholic. She has a family. She's sober now, but when she was in the thick of it and downing a bottle of vodka plus a day, her family had no idea. And I think, especially with alcohol, you can create this false narrative where you like to drink, but you're not an alcoholic. Whereas, like, you're not a social cokehead, you're not a social pillhead, you're not a social heroin addict, but you can be a social drinker. And so yeah, it definitely is different for everybody. So let's see.
And then the family would see it and start to notice it, and it didn't get better. It didn't get better. I was amazed. He lived for so long in bad conditions. In terms of, I was amazed that his body could hold out. It held out, and it had bad moments, but his body was unbelievably strong that it could withstand this.
Yeah, it's got to be insane to be able to. I mean, depending on what drugs people are using, to watch them waste away in real time, it is scary. And then again, you're just like, how does this human body do this? I was not aware that a human body could exist this way.
It's a body. Your body's just so resilient.
Yeah.
Do you remember the last time that you saw him or spent with him?
I do. And
I'm sorry to ask you about it. Is that all right?
No, it's
Go,
the
Theo,
reason
you got
it's
it.
good talking about it is it might help other people. If it helps one other person, it's worth the conversation.
We talk about that stuff a lot on our,
but Donald Trump doesn't care about people.
On our podcast.
Yeah.
A lot of our audience struggles or has struggled with alcoholism, addiction, intimacy disorders, all types of stuff. you know? So it's like a
Fucking
it's pretty
weirdos.
kind of normal conversation. But
You know, the interesting thing is, and I tell people, so I never had a cigarette and I've never had a glass of alcohol. And my brother was incredible. He would tell me, because he knew he had a problem, and he'd say, don't ever drink, don't ever smoke. He'd always add smoking because he did smoke a lot.
This is the part I saw on, I'm pretty sure, unless, you know, it's Trump. He definitely repeats himself. But I'm pretty sure this is the clip that I saw on TikTok.
And it'd say, don't ever drink, don't ever smoke. He'd always add smoking because he did smoke a lot, which is, you know, not very healthy. But he'd say, don't ever drink, don't ever drink. He'd tell me every time. I said, don't ever drink, because he knew he had this addiction. And I never had a glass of alcohol. Never, ever did I have a glass of alcohol because of him. And I would say that if I did drink, I could, you know, conceivably be the type of personality that would have, like you, that would have a problem. But I never had. And the only thing I say to people is, if too late for the people that you're talking about, but if you don't drink, you don't miss it. I mean, I don't even think about alcohol or
it's not a part of your world.
So I was just typing that out. So we have a new poll, and exactly what Trump just said. I said the question is, if you could go back and be sober, would you? Based on exactly what Trump just said, that if you don't know it,
if too late for the people that you're talking about, but if you don't drink, you don't miss it. I mean,
so if you like, obviously, if you're somebody who drinks, you know that you like drinking, and so going sober from here is one thing. But if you could go back and erase that experience and erase whether or not you had that enjoyment, would you want to? I don't think I would. I don't think I would, even though I spent a good year. You know, I got up to like drinking a bottle and a half of wine a day because I was not in a good spot. And despite that, I still think a lot of the good times I've had were not because of the alcohol. But I mean, it really does. Like, there's a reason people like it. I would say no. I would say no. What say you? Nick said, I've heard Trump say as much as he possibly has about his brother. It's sad. Luckily, Trump learned from his brother. Good thing, because we need him. Oh, yeah. So you said I drink 6 cans or bottles a year. Do you measure that out once every other month or something? And said, no, because I don't drink anyway. I wouldn't need to go back. Fair enough. Fair enough. I think that goes along. That fits.
If too late for the people that you're talking about.
Well, wait. Then you should have said yes. That does ruin it. Because the implication is that you had it. So if you'd say yes and go back and be sober, because that's what you already did. So we're going to say it's a 50-50 right now. Matthew said, I don't think I would. If I did, I wouldn't have the family I have now. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm there's just too much that like that has come from people who, it's not the reason that we hang out, but it's a central thing, and it's just a part of. Yeah, I know I'm happy with the role that alcohol now plays in my life. It hasn't always been perfect, but now knowing how to manage that and realizing that I don't have to be a sober person, that I could if I wanted to, but I don't need to be a sober person, then I'm good. Shout out to Kelly Green. Welcome to the party. So as long as you don't do things in excess, it's fine. It's almost like saying, if you don't ever look at boobies, you'll never want them. But I would never give up looking at boobies. Yeah, but nah, because you are biologically programmed to want to look at titties. You're not biologically programmed to want to drink alcohol. So, you know, I see where you're coming from, but yeah, exactly, Matt. Exactly. I mean, dilly to that. There you go. There you go. And so I used to be very irresponsible when I drank, but I had a fake ID, so I got it out before 19 when I got pregnant with my babas. Fair enough.
And the only thing I say to people is, if too late for the people that you're talking about, but if you don't drink, you don't miss it. I mean, I don't even think about alcohol or
Right. It's not a
anything.
part of your world.
I don't think about cigarettes.
Yeah.
I don't think
What a loser!
about any of that. If you don't take drugs or if you don't have alcohol, it's real easy not to drink it. It's
Yeah.
when I had a friend who
True, but here's the other side of it. I think that and I'm not imploring, I'm not giving anybody any advice. I'm just giving my own thoughts and opinions. But shit happens in life. And intoxication is too good at being a short-term solution to things. It's too good at being a short-term solution to too many things. Where if you didn't have sometime between 15 and 25, if you didn't have a time where you went a little too hard, then the chances that you're going to go through life and experience all of life and never feel like you want to do that, I don't know. I don't know how common that is. I feel like even if you're, like maybe if you've never done coke, then you're not going to have, you're going to get a divorce and then just start doing blow all the time. But, then maybe you go to a bar and you start drinking and you're not used to how the alcohol affects your body. You're not used to implementing any type of discipline when you're already intoxicated, which is something you learn from drinking when you're young and drinking too much. Then is that ideal? I don't know. I don't have answers. I'm just asking questions.
have alcohol, it's real easy not to drink it. It's when I had a friend who went to the Wharton School of Finance with me. He was a very smart guy.
Where is it? Wharton School?
That's in Philadelphia. That's at Penn.
Oh, yeah. Rocky.
Right. And it's a great school, great business school. And it's part of the University of Pennsylvania, the business school. At
Oh, it's nice down there.
Yeah.
My friend's
It's Wharton, homie.
brother went there or something.
Well,
We ate near there
then he
once.
was smart because it's a great school. And
Well, if I went there and he went there, then must be smart, very smart, because only the best.
but this person that I met, he hated the taste of scotch. Hated it.
Don't we all? Don't we all? But a good scotch will get you there. When I like scotch, I wasn't so much of a scotch guy as a whiskey guy, but I don't like the bourbons and the scotches, just like your straight up Irish whiskey and stuff. But that shit would make me loud. Y'all think I get loud here when I'm drinking just this stuff? You did not want to be in the bar with me when I was 23 and just plowing back shots of Jameson.
This person that I met, he hated the taste of scotch. Hated it. Couldn't stand it. But he insisted on having it because he felt it was important to be able to drink. I said, no, just don't drink. He said, to be successful.
That's the thing that I gave up on, is trying to, because it's an acquired taste. And so I definitely believe that there's some people who enjoy the taste of scotch and bourbon and stuff, maybe, but it's fucking nasty. And especially having quit coffee after spending years putting a dick ton of sugar and a dick ton of milk in coffee before I actually liked black coffee. I was like, maybe I just don't need to be a scotch drinker. Maybe I don't need to be a beer drinker. Like, yeah, I'll have a beer, but whatever. I don't need the coolest IPA. Give me a Guinness and I'm good.
Felt it was important to be able to drink. I said, no, just don't drink. He said, to be successful in business, you have to sort of interact and you have to drink.
It's a status thing.
And I said, don't do it. Anyway, he became an unbelievable alcoholic, uncontrollable alcoholic.
Oh, I thought you meant like one of the best.
And he died. He was, but he hated
one of the
taste of scotch.
And he
he couldn't live without it.
Wow.
Literally.
Well, I think I noticed a lot of in the recovery rooms and stuff, it's a lot of people that they're missing something inside of them. And so they take on so they want to try and fill it up with something else.
My Mommy, why don't you love me? Please love me.
Yeah. Do you remember the last time you spent with your brother?
I do. And he'd have periods where he'd get sick, very sick. And
I bet.
we thought we'd lose him or we lost him. Then he'd get better. And that happened 5 or 6 times. I mean, where you thought you lost him and then he got better. And it was amazing. I mean, he was, in a certain way, very strong in that sense.
Yeah.
And
again, that's where the respect, that's where the what's the word? The not reverence, the sensitivity to the issue. That's where it comes from. And it's like, obviously, he lived this. But we always think, oh, he's the guy who doesn't drink or smoke and he only eats fast food or he a well-done steak with ketchup. So what does he know about anything? It's like, what?
I just tell people it's so tragic. Don't drink. Just don't drink.
Yeah.
And you're not going to have a problem. Like even you, if you didn't drink, you would never, but you probably maybe wouldn't be successful like you are. You know, it's part of your story, right?
It's helped me a lot. Yeah.
Shout out to Bernd Chrysler. He definitely would not have a career without alcohol.
Yeah, because I don't know what would happen probably. I think it's just too risky.
It is risky.
What's something that you miss about him? Or like that? Like what's something that
Being alive?
you miss about him, Fred?
Sorry.
Well, he was wise in a sense. I mean, think of it.
One more person hit the poll because it's a 50-50, but Ann hit yes Ann hit no when I would have, with the way I phrased the question, I would have preferred that she said yes. So one more person hit it. Hey guys, did you know that one time I went to Russia? I am the machine. I saw him at the Stress Factory in New Brunswick, New Jersey. Tiny little comedy club. Must have been 2012 or 2013. And this was before he was, he was big, but he wasn't big. You know what I mean? And yeah. Well. Updates on Matthew Perry death. Let's do this one. Wait, when was this?
We're learning some new details about the doctors charged.
Yeah. Wait. Okay.
We're learning some new details about the doctors charged in connection with the death of Matthew Perry. Their clinics are allowed to stay open despite the charges. Now patients in California are learning at the door that their doctors are facing multiple felonies. ABC News' Trevor Ault has the latest.
Federal prosecutors say they played a substantial role in the overdose death of beloved Friends actor Matthew Perry. But the clinics for these 2 California doctors are allowed to remain open even as they face felony charges.
Are you aware of what happened to Dr. Placencia?
No, what happened? Oh my God.
Dr. Salvador Placencia and Dr. Mark Chavez are 2 of the 5 people authorities say created a broad underground criminal network that allegedly enabled an addict by selling him the powerful drug ketamine.
These defendants took advantage of Mr. Perry's addiction issues to enrich themselves. They knew what they were doing was wrong.
The U.S. Attorney's Office tells ABC News because these charges were filed, both doctors have surrendered their DEA registrations, meaning they can't prescribe any controlled substances. But
well, I guess we know there's some people who are getting screwed at CVS for the right reasons.
Their medical licenses are still active. At the Malibu Canyon Urgent Care, Dr. Placencia was ordered to post this disclosure warning any patient who might walk in. Our Melissa Dunn.
We're not going to read it. Come on. Let's shout out our boy Guam Tech. Welcome to the party, sir. Good to see ya. All right, I want to see what this says. So this is Malibu Canyon Urgent Care disclosure. Dr. Salvador Placencia is a defendant in a pending case, the U.S. Versus blah, 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 case number blah, which is pending in the Central District of California. In that case, doctor is charged with felony offenses, including conspiracy to distribute ketamine in violation of Title 21. U.S. Code, blah, 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 distribution of ketamine in violation of Title 21, something, and altering and falsifying records related to a federal investigation in violation of Title 18. U.S. Code Section 1519, doctor has surrendered his DEA registration number and currently cannot prescribe any controlled substances. So that's not what happened in my situation, but all the people who were getting things from that, they're gonna have issues at CVS. Where were we? But yeah, like this is I think I've told you guys about the time that I accidentally did ketamine, right? This is when I was in college. I was living in the frat house. So again, if you don't if you don't know, I apologize again if you guys do know, but I went to Rider University, and 2 years before I went, when it was a huge party school, some kid died in the frat houses. So they like super locked down. So by the time I got there, the frat houses were just a different dorm room. Like they weren't allowed to have parties and stuff. So all the fraternities would have off campus housing. It was a small closed campus anyway. And so when I was looking to move out, to my friends that I was looking to move with were in the frat, and they were like, "Hey, there's a bunch of rooms open at this. A bunch of seniors are moving out." And I ended up living in the master bedroom of the biggest frat on campus, because I'm me, baby. And where was I going with that? Ketamine. So I'm in, master bedroom one day, and there's frat boys in and out 24/7. You just get used to it. That's where I got Morty. That is why it's surprising that thunder and fireworks freak him out, because the amount of dubstep he heard in his first year of life. But anyway, what happened? There was a party the previous night, right? So we're sleeping, but I wasn't like part of the party. So I was up, but I wasn't up too late. So getting up, it's probably like 10 a.m. or something. Go, my room's here. You go down the hall and then down the stairs, and then I went to take Morty out in the back. So my room's here, and I'm walking down the hallway, and my roommate's room is right here. Roommate's not there, but two of his friends are sitting at his desk chopping up powder, and they're just like, "Yo, you want a line?" And it's like a Saturday, or it's like a college day where I had nothing. And I'm like, fuck it. Yeah, I'll do a line. I'm not going to sit around and do blow all day, but like, I'll do a line. Why not? And so I go in, I do the line. And as soon as I'm like, that was not cocaine, was it? They're like, no, that was ketamine. I was like, oh boy. And let's just say I've not done ketamine since. I would like to have a better experience on it. But that is how I accidentally did ketamine. And while there are definitely medically appropriate uses for it, these guys made it at home. They had a giant Ziploc bag of just powder rocks. It was like that thick. And, the bag was like that thick. Just a giant Ziploc bag. So ketamine, no bueno.
But their medical licenses are still active. At the Malibu Canyon Urgent Care, Dr. Placencia was ordered to post this disclosure, warning any patient who might walk in. Our Melissa Dunn was there.
No, he's not here.
No, he didn't MJ himself. They MJ'd him.
Well, he's not here, and he hasn't been here today. No.
Dr. Placencia has pleaded not guilty. The indictment alleges Perry had first used different doctors for ketamine fusion therapy, but when they wouldn't increase his dosage, he turned to Placencia and Chavez, with Placencia allegedly selling Perry 20 vials of ketamine for $55,000 cash.
Damn.
He wrote in a text message in September 2023, quote,
"Is there any other kind of meth? What other kind of meth is there?
I wonder how much this moron will pay."
Now, close friends of the actor are speaking out, telling People magazine they were sad that Perry was surrounded by enablers.
They wished that they had known. They wished he had reached out, because he did have loved ones who would be there to help him.
So, you get it. I'll put the, if you would like to watch the entire thing, the link is in the chat there. But yeah, the way that drugs are used, it's all over the place. And so getting to see Donald Trump, the guy who has never had a sip of alcohol, talk about drugs and addiction and his family with Theo Vaughn, who is very much in the depths of this, whether he's in recovery right now or not. I'm not saying this to wish harm on him, but it's very likely that he will fall off the wagon again. It's also likely that he won't, but I'm just, painting the picture that this is not something you're going to get every day. This is definitely not something you're going to get from Kamala Harris.
And that you miss about him, Fred.
Well, he was wise in a sense.
Talking about his brother again.
mean, think of it. He's got this problem, and it was very important for him to convey to me not to have this problem. And I couldn't have been successful if I had that problem.
Yeah.
If I had that problem, and I think maybe I'm a personality type where I could have had the problem if I drank.
Probably. So let's end this poll. 56% of you saying no. I'm either good with alcohol or I don't already drink. With the 9 votes, I think that puts us at 50-50 if we're putting answer in the opposite. But yeah, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. And then, yeah, right, Kamala's still drunk. Shout out to Sailor, whatever the fuck his name is, the little fruitcake. I was almost going to say a word I wasn't allowed to say again. Join the Discord so you can hear what I really mean. Yeah, that fruitcake got really upset that I alluded to the fact that it makes sense to me that Kamala's a drunk. Kamala's a drunk. You know, but since this is a short thing, let's just. Why not? Why not? We got the time.
Are we going to have to start looking at cackling the commie Kamala through a totally different lens? You are not going to believe what I just found on X. So a bunch of people have been tipping me off recently to the, let's call it the saucy state of mind of Kamala the Commie Harris. So I decided to go to X and see what I could find. And you got to see this. And folks, these accounts are everywhere.
So this is again, both of these are relatively random accounts, but ones that apparently Kamala's aides are having trouble keeping her sober, which is why she's only doing the scheduled rallies. Every time she gets off the plane, she's apparently drunk. So that's why they are hiding her from the press. Not confirmed.
On X right now. And apparently this has been a thing for a while. I don't know how I missed it. Aides apparently having a hard time keeping her sober. Many in her campaign are struggling to keep her out of the limelight.
And again, we looked up these Twitter accounts, and nobody's legit yet. But again, this one's saying anyone familiar with alcoholism has to see that Kamala Harris has a drinking problem. Right? 1, she's drunk in public and on video. She's not, quote, stupid or awkward or joyful. She's drunk, day drunk, on the job, in front of cameras, in front of kids. She's drunk. Watch the videos and see for yourself. 2, her campaign team and the Biden administration manage her the way families attempt to manage alcoholic parents. Campaign is hyper controlling, keeping her from any situation that might expose her secret, hence not allowing her to speak off script and refusing press conferences. The Biden administration was unhappy with Kamala and reluctant to give her responsibility. And then it goes on. But I mean, wait till you see these videos. Wait till you see these.
Because of her condition when she gets off of planes. And apparently she goes on binges just about all the time. So I decided to go back and pull some of her old video clips and see if it makes sense. And man, I mean, as somebody who's been through that myself, I don't know how I missed the telltale signs.
I said, shit, me too. That's the other thing. It's like when when you've been there, And yeah, this is, again, when I was originally saying it, I was like, it's not like I was like, yeah, Kamala's like a normal person. And then some random Twitter account is like, oh, she's a drunk. And I was like, she must be a drunk. No, we all have been like, it's something's off. Like, and then you plug this in, like, that makes sense.
It's
that
slosh.
makes sense. Okay, let's put this at normal speed. Normal speed. So, like, again, when we watched this originally, I don't know why he made it the video style like this, but I don't know why whatever. When we originally watched this, it's like, okay, she's wearing a mask. So, that's why she sounds weird. Let's see. Speed, right? You tell me.
I think it is important to look at folks like Haley and Kelly and also say we're going to take note of the fact that during the pandemic, over 2 million people, 2 million women people.
2 million women people.
Did she just step out of a nightclub?
And as a woman, there's a balance to be struck between being tough and being a bitch.
Is she hanging out with her friends, drinking a bottle of wine?
It's the hands for me. It's the hands. Like, look at the hands.
Is she hanging out with her friends, drinking a bottle of wine?
What are we doing?
Turn that off.
Projection.
There is this wonderful word that has a great meaning, and it's called hypothesis.
Tell us.
Which means that
Can you
have
explain
an
it?
idea, and
Can you
then
put your
it
words
is well
together for us?
accepted. It will be tested. And then you will learn whether it was correct or not, but there will be no pride associated with the hypothesis,
What?
because after all, it was a hypothesis.
Right.
And then you will reconvene and then create a new hypothesis.
Right.
Oh, but you got to see this last
one.
I mean, something's not right.
No, we have to stay woke. Like everybody.
And this is recent. I think this is from since she was the projected nominee.
No, we have to stay woke. Like everybody needs to be woke. And you can talk about if you're the wokest or woker, but just stay more woke than less woke. Yeah.
And then I came across this, and it makes it sound like maybe we're the only ones who are left out of the joke.
You can't.
Oh, I forgot about this. If you're not listening, pay the fuck attention.
Understand the two sentences she puts together. So, you know
what?
Yeah.
But Judge,
What?
what excuse? He has an excuse. What's hers?
I don't know. I have an idea, but I'm not going to say it in public. I think she likes to have
boy.
a good time.
Oh, boy.
Okay?
Why does it seem like everyone in Washington already knows this about her, but none of us do?
Good question, sir. Good question. Good call, Nick. Yeah, I don't. I mean, you know, she could be both, but that doesn't seem like unintelligent behavior. It seems like drunk behavior. I don't know. I'm not claiming that I know for sure. I'm saying it makes sense to me. Why has this woman been acting weird since I've known who she was? It makes sense to me that she is an alcoholic. Do I know that for sure? No. Nick said, yeah, when somebody's using their hands more than us Italians, then you know they're drunk. There we go. I'm so woke, I see commies everywhere. There you go. $1 million to Ukraine.
And I think maybe I'm a personality type where I could have had the problem if I drank.
Oh, yeah.
But if you don't drink, you're never going to have it. I mean, I don't miss when I see somebody light up a cigarette and just, they're in heaven.
Oh, I get that from weed, not nicotine, but I was never really a big cigarette smoker. I smoked in college, but who didn't?
I don't miss that at all.
It's weird. It's so it's very Native
Isn't
American too.
Isn't it crazy?
Bizarre.
What does that even mean, bro? What does that even
I don't miss that at all.
It's weird. It's so it's very Native
Isn't
American too.
Isn't it crazy?
Bizarre.
It's very Native American. What does that mean?
And you know, I think sometimes our older brothers, they kind of like they take the speed bumps for us, like as younger brothers, so that we don't have to. You know what I'm saying? Does that you know
not mine?
What I'm talking about?
Yeah,
like my brother went through a lot of stuff so that I didn't have to go through it. And then I get to see him and learn.
Is he okay now?
Yeah, he's doing great now. But it's like, yeah, that's one of the blessings I think of having an older brother.
Well, you can learn through history too.
I wouldn't know. My brother's a dick.
Even if it's not a brother, it's by watching other people. I mean,
family is thicker than blood. Family is thicker than blood.
You can see if you have a friend who's an alcoholic, or even just by reading about people, you can learn.
Oh yeah,
as Morty is getting hungry.
Brother, but in this case, it was very personal. It was a brother, and I learned not to drink, and I learned not to smoke cigarettes. Now, I don't know that I would have smoked cigarettes. I probably would have drank. I think, there's no reason not to drink, but I had a reason because he told me, just
that was it.
Don't do it.
What would you pay to see a drunk Donald Trump? No cameras, just you and your boys and him, and he gets to pick 5 people that's like his crew. And y'all just getting fucked up, like just low key, like in a hotel room or at somebody's crib or whatever. Somebody's got the fucking music going. How much would you pay to see that? How much would you pay to see that? I'd pay a pretty penny. I'm just saying they are absolutely going to claim this. So if you want to help me out, other than Zippy, that would be appreciated.
No, there's no reason not to drink, but I had a reason because he told me, just
that was it.
Don't do it. Yeah.
Yeah. That was kind of a blessing then, huh?
Yeah.
And where did you guys ever do anything fun together? Like one nice memory?
I said, shit, Me too. I mean, weed is legal here, but if peyote was legal here, bro, I would be a different person. I would be a different person. I need to do peyote, ayahuasca, and DMT. Never been there. Got to do it. It's like, God damn it, Trump. Now I just lit my first cigarette today. But I did only wake up 10 minutes before the stream. Well, there you go. There you go.
And where did you guys ever do anything fun together? Like one nice memory that you have with him?
Again, what a beautiful question for what Trump needs in his campaign right now. This, if chef's kiss.
Did you guys ever do anything fun together? Like one nice memory that you have with him?
He had a great talent for flying. He was a pilot.
Oh, sweet.
And he loved it. And
did you ever fly with him?
I did. I flew with him. He was a great pilot and a very talented. Other pilots would come to his house to study with him.
Watch him fly.
And he was really talented at that. But ultimately, he had to give that because of the alcohol. He had to give that up, which was a hard thing for him to do, but he had to give that up.
That sucks. That sucks. Shout out to Zippy DSM Lee carrying the goddamn show with another Rumble rant. Said Tennessee needs legal weed and shrooms bad. We too fussy. Well, hey, I'm not saying that I would or would not send something through the mail because I would definitely not do anything illegal. But
yeah, it's crazy. That's the wildest thing to watch is people losing everything, you know?
Yeah, no, they lose everything. And many people. And in those days, it wasn't drugs. It wasn't like, don't drink, don't take drugs. I don't think drugs, I don't even know whether they're even a factor. They happened pretty long time ago. But I think in those days, I don't think were drugs a factor. You go back 25 years ago.
Not like it is now.
You mean during the crack epidemic? Come on, bro. Your whole thing is New York City. What you mean? What you mean?
In those days, I don't think were drugs a factor. You go back.
Hey, shout out to I2C333. Welcome to the party. Said mushrooms helped me. I said shit, me too. I prefer LSD, but you know, a nice mushroom trip never hurt nobody. Welcome to the party. We talking about drugs with our boy Donald Trump. Welcome. Again, big shout out to the sponsor of the stream, Zippy. We got Raymond Deluzio in the building. So DMT is the best. I didn't see God, but I was in a single-celled organism in the primordial soup at the dawn of time. Makes sense to me. Eyes to see said LSD took me to Jesus land. Well, I think we went to the same place. I like to use different words, but that's a conversation for another day. Welcome to the party.
Pretty long time ago, but I think in those days, I don't think were drugs a factor. You go back 25 years ago.
Not like it is now.
Well, certainly not like now. And
that actually takes me into something else I wanted to talk about. Like alcoholism and addiction is something that's really ramped up, even like you're saying, like in the past 20, 30 years in our country, right? And during the opioid epidemic, they estimate that like almost 600,000 people died.
Yeah.
And that doesn't even include the broken hearts and the deaths of families and circles of trust, all, you know, just people that lost a brother. Doesn't even include the actual, the siblings,
right?
Or, you know, and so the ripple
parents, aunts, friends, all that stuff.
Effect of that is huge. And there's that Sackler family that pretty much got away with it. You know, they had a financial slap on the wrist, but we're one of the only countries that
fuck them. Well, they did create the thing that is my most favorite thing in the world. It is also my least favorite thing in the world. If you have not, what is it called? Come on. Sackler family Netflix. Painkiller. If you have Netflix and you have not seen Painkiller with Matthew Broderick, Taylor Kitsch, like maybe not all-star cast, but a solid cast about exactly how the Sackler family created the opioid epidemic. It is spot on. It is well done. And I don't know what you're doing if you haven't seen it.
You know, they had
That's them. And Matthew Broderick, I think, plays this guy.
a financial slap on the wrist, but we're
Mhm.
one of the only
Never
countries
went to
that
jail.
allows
None of them. Maybe not millions, but at least hundreds of thousands of people dead. Millions affected. Millions still addicted. Not even a fine. Not even a fine for these, again, words that you will hear me say only in Discord.
a financial slap on the wrist, but we're one of the only countries that allows drug.
That's what I want. That's what I want. See, I like LSD more because I feel like there's more of an emotional factor. I think when maybe it's just me, and maybe it affects people differently. But when I take shrooms, it's much more of a superficial, fun thing. And I've done shrooms a number of times, but only a couple different batches. So maybe I just haven't had good shrooms, but I did take 7 grams to the face. So it seems like it shouldn't really matter. But anyway, it doesn't elicit that emotional, it just doesn't hit me on that emotional level like LSD does. It has everything else, you feel good, and you feel weird, and like things are funny, and visuals and all that good stuff. But like explore, like facing your deepest, darkest fears, that's not gonna happen to me on shrooms. And I think for a lot of people, that's why they don't do psychedelics, because they're not ready for that. But I am. I'm on it. I only want the bad trips. Well, maybe not only, but the bad trips are where you learn about yourself. Hey, shout out to Rumpled Trenchcoat, a Colombo podcast. If we have a moderator who could check out, that seems like a channel. If we can get a link to that channel, let's drop it in the chat. Thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships. And of course, every donation comes with a treat for Morty. We also got Mike's shitty internet provider with another gifted membership. There we go. Thank you. He's still chomping. Morty, I got another one for you here. There you go. And Mike gets a treat for Morty as well. Thank you, guys. Very much appreciated. I think all you guys who hey, there you go. Avery, got your gifted membership. If you were gifted a membership, make sure, guys, that you join the Discord, because the membership gets you full access to the Discord, including the after party, where as soon as we are done here, we go in the voice channel and we're hanging out over there, and you're not stuck behind your keyboard, and all the stuff that I'm biting my tongue, you can hear me say over there. Thank you so very much, guys. Really appreciate you. Skull to y'all. There we go. Shout out to TSN. Thank you so very much. Shout out to Nordic Born. See the share. That stuff, sharing is free. But look what happened. It brought somebody new, and somebody was here willing to see the puppy. Thank you to Nordic Born and to Mike's shitty internet provider. Thank you so very much. Dilly. We also got Screaming Like a Cat in Hate. I like that name. Shout out to Shuli. Thank you for coming by, guys. I really do appreciate it. Welcome. What does Carl say here? There's a fine line between a psychonaut and a psycho nut. Well said. Once you cross it, you cannot come back. Ask Sid Batet. Batet? The guitarist from 13th Floor Elevators. Yeah. There was, what's that movie? God damn it. That's SLC Punk. I was just watching SLC Punk, the where the Hasidic Jews, they're like Hasidic Jews that take a bunch of acid and they fry themselves with 100 tabs at once, and just gone. But yeah. All right, so let me update. Hey, shout out to Cunt Shops 23. Welcome to the party, and welcome to being a member. Again, members, make sure you join that Discord to get all your goodies. Thank you so very much. And oh my goodness, Our boy, the Funk Master General, with another tenor. When is Morty's birthday? The 27th. The 27th. So 6 days from now. I'm going to do a special stream for Morty's birthday. But thank you so very, very much. I really do appreciate you guys. Let's dive right back in. We are talking with Theo Von and Trump, talking about drugs. And it's rather interesting. Let's do it. Thank you, everybody. I really do appreciate it. Skull to you all.
There's that Sackler family that pretty much got away with it. You know, they had a financial slap on the wrist, but we're one of the only countries that allows drug advertisements and pharmaceutical companies to advertise on television. Like, what do you think are things that you can do to help curtail that when you get in office?
So, well, we did a great job.
Does that make sense or not?
Yes,
that question?
it does make sense. And we had committees, blue ribbon committees in certain cases, but committees that would meet. The big problem we have.
Okay, real quick, we got the rumpled trench coat, a Columbo podcast link in the description, link in the chat. Definitely go give them a follow, and thank you so very much for joining the sponsoring this stream.
Yeah, fentanyl is probably the biggest. Opioid is bad. Opioid is bad too.
Yep.
I think that's bad because
fentanyl is an opioid, bro.
Everyone thinks, in many cases, they think they're going to do away with pain. And literally the time is so short. If you take it for like 2 weeks, you're almost addicted.
Oh, okay. I thought he was gonna say the time that you're feeling the pain relief. Like I gotta. Nah, I mean, you take some of that good, and you good for a minute. But no, he's saying like your tolerance is gonna go up really quickly, and that is absolutely the fact. Like you know, even with weed, even with alcohol, but specifically for whatever reason with these drugs, the better the drug is, the faster your tolerance goes up. Why is that? I don't know. God playing a terrible, horrible joke. Shout out to Rob Saul. Gotta go troll. Do your thing. Yeah, it's been a good one. It's been a good one so far. Hey, shout out to Jed Allen again with 5 more gifted memberships. Oh my goodness, you guys are blessing me, and of course every donation comes with a treat for Morty. Again, guys, if you just got a membership, make sure you are joining that Discord. I see a bunch of new members, and I don't see any new people in the Discord. That's where the good stuff is. Thank you, Jed Allen. Welcome to the party.
Literally, the time is so short. If you take it for like 2 weeks, you're almost addicted to it. It's incredible when you.
Oh, well, all of that is horrible. But why do we allow that?
How did you get addicted? How did?
No, I would just do cocaine. That was really, yeah. So not just, yeah.
Finally a laugh from Trump. I thought we were going to get a much more like, oh, wow, you're doing this stuff. Like, oh, whoa, that's crazy kind of stuff. And Theo kind of telling crazy stories and stuff. But maybe that's where we're going.
No, I would just do cocaine. That was really, yeah. So not just, yeah.
That's down and dirty, right?
Yeah. And I mean, it was, yeah.
But you don't anymore?
No, I don't do it anymore, man. And I'm not doing it.
Is it too much? Too much to handle?
Some of the stuff started to get a real rattle in it too. I don't know where we were even getting it from in this country, but yeah, it started to make me feel like I was a mechanic or something.
So the thing
mechanic. Oh my God. Weirdly, I don't quite know what that means, but I kind of know exactly what that means. That you're just tinkering around and trying to find the right setting for your own body. I'm gonna call you C-Chops to try to, I mean, they're already gonna copyright claim this, but let's at least try to keep it visible. C-Chops said, "Watch this Theo chat today. Theo did a great job getting natural responses from that freaky fucker with the tie." I agree. I think this is huge. For especially when we think about what is the makeup of Theo's audience. There's going to be a lot of people who've never really taken the time to see who Trump really is. I think this is going to be huge. And I'm so happy that this was able to be put together. Shout out to Dana White for doing the damn thing. And shout out to Theo for being Theo, right?
Been getting it from in this country, but yeah, it started to make me feel like I was a mechanic or something.
So the thing you go back to then is alcohol for the most part.
Right. Yeah. But what I want probably is cocaine, but I know that if I have a drink, then it'll be like, okay, well, I had a drink, then I can do this.
Right. So it's like, I can't do cocaine. Come on. But you're drinking a little bit. That's empty. And you're like, well, I mean, all right. I mean, maybe a little bit. Like, I mean, we'll just hit him up. If he's got it, then I'll get a little bit. And, maybe he does and maybe he doesn't. If he doesn't have it, it's no big deal. But, if he's got some, I may as well, right? Like, why not? That was always my thing. It's like, yo, if you can get it, if you have it on you, I will come and get it. I don't care. And again, I was a pill head, but the same thing, I have a addictive personality. And so when I was into something, I was into it. It's like, if you have it right now, no problem. I will come and get it from you. If you need to go get it, don't lie to me and tell me that you have it and then have me come over and then we have to wait. I don't want to wait and sit around. I have anxiety already. I just need boom, 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 boom. I don't want to be like, oh, yeah, I got it. And then I drive to your house and you're like, oh, yeah, we just got to go pick it up from this dude. And we drive 40 minutes away in the hood. Now we're sitting on the side of the street where I don't know. And there's cops going by and there's shady people going by and there's this. And we're sitting there for 45 minutes. I thought you said you had it. Well, yeah, I mean, you said you had it. But no. If you have it on you right now, then I will come and get it. If you don't have it, I'm just going to stay sober tonight. I think that 3-day trick was the only thing that allowed me to do that. And there's a lot of time that I could have spent sitting in the hood in a car waiting for drugs that I didn't even really want. If I didn't take those breaks.
Then it's alcohol for the most part.
Right. Yeah. But what I want probably is cocaine, but I know that if I have a drink, then it'll be like, okay, well, I had a drink, then I can do this.
Is cocaine a stronger
oh yeah.
up?
Yeah.
So you're way up with cocaine more than anything else you can think of.
Cocaine will turn.
Well, I mean, not like meth, but yeah.
Turn you into a damn owl, homie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You'll be.
He's like, no, I don't know what you're saying.
Anything else you can think of.
Cocaine will turn you into a damn owl, homie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You'll be out on your own porch,
Yeah.
You'll be your own street lamp. You're freaking.
And is that a good feeling? Well,
no,
it's a
horrible.
miserable
It's not,
feeling.
right? It's not. But okay, this is going to be, okay, we're going to do a poll here. I want to know if you have done cocaine, did you enjoy the feeling while you were high? Because maybe it's just me, because I don't like uppers. I'm already, up. So I like my downers, my weed, all that good stuff. But I like doing drugs. So if you if you have drugs there, then I'm gonna want to do them just because they're drugs. But I like the prospect of doing the drugs or setting it up and then snorting the drug. That part. That's as much as then it's like, oh, now I'm all strung out and I got to figure out a way to this, that, whatever. And but still we do more. Why? That is not the case with pills, because the fucking the pills, they're small pills, especially if you get the good ones where you're not getting any filler. You get a tiny little pill, so you might get 2, maybe 3 lines out of it. But he called him Donald before. I was gonna put that in the title, but I was like, it just doesn't fit. He's like, what was your brother's name, Donald? It's like, what? Bruh. But yeah, it's wild. It's wild. Why? It's a miserable feeling, yet more, please. Shout out to My Cry MT over on Twitch. Welcome to the party. Said unleash your inner dragon. Sure. C-Chap said, hey, fentanyl, methadone, etc., opioids. I prefer opiates. Agreed. Quantex said, I'm more of a fan of Adderall, which is why I need to stay away from it. So, I did Adderall a few times, but when I was already fucked up and I was like, oh, we're going out to party, so I need to, be up. But Coke, you do a few lines of Coke, and then you're up, and then you're just fiending Coke for another 3 hours. Adderall will keep you going, and especially if your body's like mine, where I'm super sensitive to uppers, then like 10 milligrams of Adderall, and I'm wired for a day. Not for me. C-Chop said, I don't like coke, crack, unless I got some brown or some benzos too. I said, shit. Me too. I don't do the brown, but love me some benzos. Love me some benzos. Funkmaster said I had to try it a few hundred times before I could make a definite decision. I mean, you know, sometimes. Yeah, still trying to find out. We need to do some more, some more testing, just, you know, for research purposes.
Be your own street lamp. You're freaking.
And is that a good feeling? Well,
no,
it's
horrible.
A miserable feeling.
But you do it anyway, just like the guy you're saying with the scotch. Like you didn't.
Great callback. So he was talking about Trump was talking before about some, I don't know, some person in his circles who felt like he needed to be a scotch drinker. And he's like, oh, I don't like scotch. And Trump was like, well, then stop drinking it. And he's like, no, I got to be a scotch drinker. And yeah, no, you don't.
Miserable feeling.
But you do it anyway, just like the guy you're saying with the scotch. Like you knew it was bad, but you still.
So it's not even good during what would be normally the good time. In other words, oh, wow. Nope. So why would you do it?
Good fucking question. I wish I fucking knew.
That's why I don't.
Yeah, that's terrible.
But it's crazy because that's what alcoholism is. I think it's that it trumps the why.
Yeah.
It doesn't, and it just, you don't, and you just go to. It's like, so that's why it's.
So I wonder how much. So now that, you know, as this conversation is going on, then of course, you know, as an atheist voting for Trump, then, you know, I have an issue with people talking about, you know, religion in the context of politics, you know, making laws and stuff on things that they can't articulate. So this is slightly different because we're not trying to make specific laws around things that we can't articulate. But I wonder how much overlap there is in the experience of having a faith structure that you believe in and wanting to do drugs knowing that they're not good for you, and you may not even enjoy doing the drugs themselves. Because dogma is absolutely a drug. I don't know. I'm gonna have to think. I'm gonna have to sit on that one. Think a little bit more.
And it just, you don't, and you just go to. It's like, so that's why they say that it's cunning, baffling, and powerful. That's what they say about alcoholism, and it is. It's
which is a bigger problem in our country, would you say?
Opioids.
Bigger than alcohol.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the biggest problems.
And compare that to fentanyl.
Oh yeah, well that's the problem is people.
Yeah, exactly. That is the problem. That, like, back in my day, you can get pressed pills and, like, yeah, it might be some bullshit, but you're not gonna die. Maybe you'll die, but probably not. We spent 6 months ordering Xanax pressed pills from the Philippines that didn't even look like Xanax, and we just ate that shit. We snorted that shit. Today, we know there'll be fentanyl. Like, somebody's gonna die. Funkmaster said, I once drank many bottles of scotch with a bunch of Muslims. Hurrah! I don't think they're supposed to do that. Excuse me. Zebi said, new court judges cannot articulate what a gun is for fear people find loopholes in the law. God, I need a drink. Dilly dilly, sir.
We're making fake opioids because they can't afford real ones, or they're just getting them off the street, and then they put fentanyl in them.
Yep.
Yeah. Fentanyl's like laced into everything now. It's horrible.
It's horrible. Yeah. They found some in a baby rattle somewhere, I think. I don't even know where that was. But one of the things I wanted to ask.
So C-Chop said, oi flump, wankers like us do hardcore drugs quite often as a result of mistakes and incompetence with the establishment. Is Trump flump? Is that what we're doing? You flump, you fuck cronies on both sides. Sacklers doing okay? Yeah, they were just talking about the Sacklers. They're doing just fine. That should be a bipartisan hate.
Ask you about was like, so there's like the big pharma lobbyists, like there's 1,800 big pharma lobbyists in Washington, D.C.
Right.
There's only 535 total representatives or senators total. So just the fact that there's this whole other almost drug government that's there kind of pushing pushing agendas and influencing things.
Abolish the DEA and the FDA while you're at it.
Like, how do we stop that, man? It just seems like it's obviously killing people. Like, people are dying, It's like, what do we have to do that our own government won't help us?
Well, you have to stop listening to lobbyists. I was not a big person for lobbyists. And if they have even a little access to like a president or a senator or a congressman or woman,
they're snakes.
They get a lot of money.
Snakes.
And in some cases, they just take the money. They don't do anything. But you have a lot of lobbyists in Washington pushing, and certainly a lot for all of the things.
And 47, right? Shout out to Sizemore. Welcome to the party. Good to see you. Good to see you. I'm going to assume that's supposed to be an M. I don't know how you got that symbol, but the doctor had me on 75 milligram per hour patches. So, okay. Doctor had me on 75 milligram per hour patches at one time, but they didn't help the pain enough anyway, and he didn't like them. So I asked if there was something else I could take. Okay, a microgram. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. I was like, 75 milligrams? Like, that's a lot. God damn. No, okay. And so and then, so he said that, and then, Zippy said, FET? What is FET? Fentanyl is flooding in because we banned drugs, which allowed the black market to become bigger than some nations. Bingo. Yep. Abolish the DEA.
It's in Washington pushing, and certainly a lot for all of the things that we're talking about, including winning. Alcohol.
The lobbyists are winning, it feels like.
Yeah, they're winning. They're making a lot of money. Absolutely.
And have been for quite a while. And guys, we did just cross over the 2-hour mark. If you would like to keep the party raging, you know how to do it.
You stop that? Can a president stop that? Like, how do we
Good
stop
question.
that?
Good question.
Well, one way you could stop it is to say, if you're going to go into government, you can never be a lobbyist. In many cases, they have rules and regulations where you can't do it for 4 years, 3 years, 5 years, whatever.
You mean be a lobbyist after you were an elected official?
I mean, you could
Is that what you're saying?
You could say that if you're an elected official or if you work in government, you can never be a lobbyist. You have people that work in government and they give out contracts to the military, and then they leave and they work for the people that they're giving out contracts to.
That's exactly what happened with the Sackler family, with the drug companies. They hired people that were on the FDA to work for them so they could loophole the laws.
Yeah.
But
hey, shout out to Nordic Born. Said, check out the merch store. I'm gonna get a little something. Yeah, man, we got a bunch of stuff. I pulled up the phone cases. We got all this good stuff. You get a notebook. This is the slowest site in the world, but it still works. You get a notebook. You can get what is this? Let's see, women's unisex French terry t-shirt. Oh, come on, Indy. Maybe the women's stuff's not there yet. We're working on it. But yeah, all the good stuff. Get something sexy for your girl. Only at theindianjesus.com. And so C-Chops asks, where is the after party? The after party is in Discord. There is the Nick should have dropped the link to the Discord. Make sure you join that. I see nobody has. If you are a member, and C-Chops, you are a member, the after party is in our voice channel for channel members only. So make sure you join that Discord and let me, especially if you have a different name, let me know. And then, as soon as this is over, we are heading over to that after party. So come on through.
Work for them so they could loophole the laws.
Yeah.
What did that say? An FDA official who led the approval of OxyContin got a $400,000 gig at Purdue Pharma a year later.
The FDA to work for them so they could loophole the laws.
Yeah.
But can we outlaw lobbyists, or we can't do that?
Well, there's a whole constitutional thing there. I mean, can you make somebody never ever go into the business if you work for government, and especially if you're giving out contracts? In other words, you're a powerful person within some industry, the Navy, the Army, anything. It could be military procurement, etc. There's a whole thing there's a whole question as to you give out a contract and then all of a sudden you're working for the person you gave out the contract to, or the company that you gave out the contract to.
Right. It's like you're playing both sides in the net.
Well, it's obviously a problem, and it's a big problem, and we were doing things about it. But
good one. You just called me a member. You're a dick too. I like that. I've not heard that before. That is the first time, and I appreciate it. Oh my goodness. Funkmaster again. No question, no comment. Just pure love of the game and the dog. Thank you so very, very, very much, sir. I really do appreciate it. And again, guys, even if you can't donate, the fact that you guys are here, the fact that you guys are part of the conversation, that you're liking the video, you're going to the merch store, you're sharing the video. Sharing the video is huge. It is huge, and it really, really, really does help. But I mean, money is money, right? Thank you, sir. Out sponsoring your goddamn self.
And it's obviously a problem, and it's a big problem, and we were doing things about it, but then we had to get down to other business. We had to solve we had a lot of problems with this country. A lot of problems.
It's pretty clear that the establishment doesn't like you, I would say. What do you think?
Well, I think the people like me.
Oh, yeah, the people.
We're leading now.
Right. The people is different from the establishment. It's almost concerning that you even said that there. Do you think that the establishment is the people? What are we doing here, Trump? What do you mean?
Like you, I would say. What do you think?
Well, I think the people like me.
Oh, yeah, the people.
We're leading now in all the polls. We're leading, and Rasmussen just came out a little while. Rasmussen's a very high.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me that Donald Trump is more popular than Kamala Harris? I couldn't keep a straight face.
Highly regarded poll, and we're leaving by leading.
We got interactive polls on Twitter has Trump +4 in 2 different polls
by 5 points. Rasmussen poll,
yeah,
and others also, and we're doing well. But I think the people like me a lot. We won, and then we did.
No doubt.
So we won in 2016, and then we did.
So. Okay, so yeah, Zippy says there's a lot of disconnect in the system. Like the left hand does not know what the right hand is doing. That is definitely true. And this goes to, when people talk about conspiracies and stuff, that you do not need the entire government to be on board in order to create a conspiracy. But so this came up earlier when I was listening to part of the problem with Dave Smith. I don't know if it was the most recent one or was the one before that or whatever. But he was just talking about what is Trump missing? What is he not doing? And there was talk about Trump has become the establishment because the left has gone so far. Or let me restate that. Dave was saying that he's not anti-establishment like everybody thinks he is. And I was like, absolutely. He's outside of the establishment. He's not anti-establishment. He's outside of the establishment. Those are 2 very different things. And again, this comes back to why we can't just be like, okay, as long as Trump wins, then America's fine. Nah. Trump winning is only step 1. Trump winning is step 1 to America not being over. It is us that have to do the work. That once we don't have to fight against the establishment trying to tamp down on anything besides a socialist agenda, to be hyperbolic, because obviously, again, that was I guess another thing that I kind of took from Dave Smith, that people saying that, oh, Kamala's a Marxist, she's a socialist. Like, do you really think she's going to shut down big business? Come on, that's not what it is. She is fucking crazy and has terrible ideas, but that's not what it is. And so when we get back to Trump being the establishment, he's not the establishment. We want what Trump stands for to become what the establishment is, so that we no longer have an issue with the establishment. If the establishment was MAGA America first, then the establishment would be not so freaking bad. I mean, it wouldn't be perfect, of course, but Trump is not anti-establishment. He's very much wanting to be liked and accepted by the establishment. He simply is not. So there's a difference between anti-establishment and outside of the establishment. C-Chap said people love him, but wolf in sheep clothing. Flump is the Flump. Why am I saying it now? Is the epitome of establishment. Disagreed. He's building his own version of the establishment. Well, okay, yeah, I agree with that. But I think you're right. He's largely outside establishment. Okay, so it seems like we're kind of both saying the same thing from different ways. I would definitely disagree with the fact that he is the establishment. If he was, I would certainly have much less of an issue with the establishment. The problem is that he's not the establishment. If he was, we'd be good. We'd be good. Zippy said socialism starts with more government regulation and taxation to pick which big business is allowed to do business. Yeah, but that's a semantic. You're backing into socialism because you don't like her policies. It's not a winning. It's not socialism. It's not what it is. It's not what it is. It's just bad policy. It's just bad crony oligopical. Is that a word? That's what it is. It's not Marxist. It's not socialist. It might have tinges of things that are similar to that which would be Marxist, but it's not Marxist. Nordic Born said it's about how Dems just put Kamala in the process for running for election. If she wins, then the process is gone. No people's vote or voice. America is over if that woman wins. I genuinely believe that. No, the fuck you didn't. You meant exactly to say that. I know you too well.
We won, and then we did.
No doubt.
So we won in 2016, and then we did much better in 2020. Much better. Got millions and millions more votes. And
why does the establishment keep trying to sink you? Like, what is it that they are so afraid of?
Well, in some cases, the things we're talking about right now, they want to sell product that I'm not interested in. They want to have certain boats and certain chips and certain planes and certain everything bought. Pharma is another one that's, interesting.
Or do they push back against you think?
Yeah, I think they do. Well, yeah, I think it's pretty obvious that they do. In one way, that's a positive thing politically, because when you can show that they push back, the voters seem to like it. But we have a lot of popularity. We have a lot of people that want to see me come back and win, because we had a great time. We had the greatest economy in history when I was president. We had,
Yep. My cousin got a boat.
Numbers, yeah.
Shout out to Brixton, London, and a bunch of mutant losers. Everybody gets a shout out. Again, guys, if you were gifted a membership or you bought a membership and you join the Discord, make sure you send me a DM or put something in the free chat or something so that I can make sure that you get the permission so that you can join the after party.
It's economy in history. When I was president, we had
my cousin got a boat.
Numbers. Yeah, we had the best job numbers. African American, Hispanic American, if you look, Asian American job numbers, women, men,
That's
everybody.
me.
We did a lot of good things. We cut taxes more than anybody else, including Ronald Reagan. We cut regulations, which created jobs. We had a great period of time, and I think the people want it back. Based on what I'm seeing, the people want it back.
One thing that you did recently, we had Bernie Sanders on,
Right.
and
Interesting.
and I know.
Oh man, oh Bernie. That's where I started. Not paying attention to shit. Told you guys about how, when I was in college and there was a bunch of people celebrating out in the courtyard and I had no idea why. And then went inside and realized, oh, we got the first black president in history. That's how little I was paying attention. And then I started paying attention and I thought I was going to be so smart. I'm not just going to watch Fox News. I'm not just going to watch CNN. I'm not just going to watch MSNBC. I'm going to watch all of them. I'm going to get all the information. I'm going to be the smartest one in the world. Stupid. Yeah. C-Chop said, I don't get any state in my decrepit state, but if you mean others, then yeah, surrounded. Well, hey, I mean, you know, we in our soft guy era. So when she pays the bills, then she can come around, right?
No,
That's very interesting.
certainly, you guys don't agree on a lot of things, but I think you both acknowledge how horribly rigged the healthcare system is against the American people. Because hospitals and insurance companies get away with hiding their prices from all of us, and literally they can charge whatever they want. You know, it's like you sign up and say, yes, I'll pay. You trust the hospital, but then you get home and the bill is, it's whatever, you know.
I fell for the stupid idea that the millionaires and billionaires are bad people because they're millionaires and billionaires. I was broke. It makes sense when you're stupid.
Which pretty much feels like some form of extortion to me. That's what it seems like to me.
It's a form.
But you had an executive order where you created a federal rule forcing hospitals and insurers to publish all their prices.
Yep.
Right. So that people would be able to know, okay, if an MRI costs $600 here and it's $5,000 there, then I can go here and save myself money.
Right.
Oh, he must hate poor people.
But that hasn't even been enforced. Like hospitals,
Biden got away with it.
hospitals and insurance companies, they're still not showing their prices.
They hated it.
Of course they did.
And because it would have made it very competitive. And Biden let it go. He never enforced it. And to get that approved was a big deal. And that would have brought down the price of
So many things.
Not only, just care, right? Care, physical care, mental care. That would have brought down the cost of care by 50, 60%. And Biden and Kamala didn't press it. It was a big thing to get it, but I'll be pressing it. And because I'll be pressing it, and because I'll be pressing it, there are some people.
He does look old enough, for sure.
That are vehemently against it for financial reasons, for money reasons. But
those people can go to hell, dude. That's insane.
Yeah, no, they're bad people.
Especially because one of the leading causes of bankruptcy in America is medical debt. I mean, that's crazy. And I don't even think I made that up either.
No, it's when you think of it, at first when you said it, I said, wow. And then I'm thinking about it. I said, it's really not a wow. I understand it.
Yeah.
Tremendous lobby, tremendous powerful lobby.
Well, yeah, because think about what else is going to put you in medical, like in that much of a debt. It's like, I believe that's accurate. Who's behind the healthcare insurance, that whole thing? Like, who's behind it all? It feels like Chuck Schumer is this kind of like deviant mastermind back there somewhere.
Well, he's one of the people that is hurt, and he's one of the people that keeps the prices high. And he's, gets a lot of contributions from the people on the other side. And him and plenty of other people, a lot of people. It's a very powerful lobby.
But when they
want the most powerful lobby, the lawyer lobby.
Yep.
That feeds into that also. It all feeds into it.
Wait, hold on, just so I understand, Donald. Sorry. So that lobby is a very powerful one.
Yeah.
But why do those people want people to suffer though? Just so they can make money?
Yeah.
Actually,
it's always about money. Is there any other reason that people do horrible, terrible, awful, no good, very bad shit but money? Oh yeah, dogma. But other than that, it's all about the money. It's all about the Bernies. Get it? Bernies. Close. Sorry. Okay. Zippy said, Bernie's just dumb. Would shut down government. Only reason I wrote him in. A mad warhawk versus a New York liberal. I'm glad Trump won 2016. Aren't we all? Aren't we all? Forget student loans, forget medical debt. C-Chap said, one of the most incredible privileges of living in the UK is free healthcare. But they're slowly dissecting the service and privatizing it and going the USA way. Google comparison in any surgery cost in the USA to UK. But can you get it today? Can you get it today? I know Canada is Canada wait times are no bueno. But I don't know about UK. So, and yep, that's true as well. Usually they're called politicians or lawyers.
Money?
Yeah.
Piss.
Actually, yeah. It really has to do with money.
That's
It's,
crazy. How much money do
They
they
probably
need?
start
Can't we
off by
just
saying
give
this
them?
is terrible, and then they eventually say, "Well,"
But
and
can
then-
we just, as a country, say, "Hey, how much? Okay, you need $3 million. We'll give you that. Fuck off.
Yeah,
We want to be
I
healthy."
wish.
yeah.
Like, can't we make a deal with those people?
They're very tough to deal with, and they've been taken care of by drug companies and others for years. You know, you have politicians.
That's one of the big issues is that they're used to getting the red carpet treatment. So now when it's like, okay, well, why don't we do something that's like, you know, kind of a little tiny bit more fair for the people? They're like, I don't think so. And they have the leverage of precedent to be like, yeah, I guess let's just keep it the way it is.
That have been for years being taken care of by people that make a lot of money, and they want to keep making a lot of money. And it is, I mean, in that case, it's not a power thing, it's a money thing.
Yeah.
A lot of money.
What are some of the other lobbies that are out there that we don't even know about?
Well, the most powerful lobby is the lawyer lobby, I would say. The teachers lobby is important or powerful. Sometimes really to the detriment of everybody. But the most powerful lobby is probably the lawyers. Who would think that, right? But they have, that's why if you wanted to get rid of court cases and cut down litigation costs, which in this country is out of control, loser
It's
pays.
crazy.
What you do is you go loser pays. In other words, the loser of a lawsuit has to pay for the other side, has to pay back all the money the other side spent.
You think that would solve it?
Yeah, it would get rid of 75, 80% of the litigation. We are a very litigious country.
I agree that something needs to be done. I don't know if that idea. I mean, I would have to like, you know, play that out. What would that mean? I don't know enough about how the justice system works to see if that is something that I would be in support of. But because, like, if I'm suing somebody and I'm morally in the right, but there's some legal bullshit where the other person wins, and now I have to pay them when they did something to me, and I sue them because they did something legitimate, but there's some, you know what I mean? I don't. That gets a little. I don't know. Zippy going on IP rights. IP rights is fun or are fun. It allows the investors. I thought you hated IP rights. I don't get the what. I don't get it. IP rights are fun. It allows the investors to make near endless money from IP mafias, so they can constantly inflate prices via government. Sarcasm. Got it. Rumble Trenchcoat said it would certainly make you want to be very sure you have a good case before you sue someone. Agreed. But, you know, again, we look to the idea of Blackstone's formulation that, like, I should be able to, I shouldn't have to worry about, like, if I was aggrieved, then I shouldn't have to worry about the justice system falling back on me before I say anything. You know what I mean? That's not a good, I don't know if that's a good precedent to set. Because then it's like, yeah, I mean, I was aggrieved, but I can't prove it. It's not what you know, it's what you can prove in court. And I think a bunch of criminals and people who have civilly broken the law will just get away with it because it's like, I don't have the proof. And even though I know it happened. So, like I said, I need to see a little bit more. CJAB said the UK health system has deteriorated so bad, we are seeing the return of conditions like rickets in kids, a disease from a Victorian era, malnutrition in kids. Well, maybe if they had the private option. I don't know. I'm American. That's the only way I can think.
It's on
25, 80% of the litigation. We are a very litigious country.
It's on everything's under. It's all bureaucratic. It's all dirty paperwork. It's a bunch of rigmarole.
Well, if that would happen, you'd get rid of a lot of it. But the lawyers are opposed to it. It probably will not happen no matter what, because obviously the lawyers want to
make money.
What would have to happen? The Supreme Court would have to vote on something to make it happen.
I don't know. I think that it maybe would have to go before the Supreme Court. But the most powerful lobby is that lobby. And if you,
why is that? Is dentistry not considered healthcare in the UK? You could be pretty fucked up if your teeth ain't good. So that would be a big. If I was I know it's slightly different, but if I was the conservative version of whatever the fuck y'all got over there, that would be number one. Like, we're known across the fucking world for having bad teeth. If we're going to have universal health care, that needs to be included.
To go before the Supreme Court, but the most powerful lobby is that lobby. And if you wanted to get rid of litigation, if you went, and Europe has it, a lot of places have it in different countries, where loser pays. If you sue somebody and you lose, you have to pay the costs of the other side.
Yeah, that makes sense, I think.
It does make sense, assuming that the justice system is perfect. And while I do agree that the American justice system is the best justice system on earth, it's far from perfect. So Chop said it is, but the government won't fund. Wait, it is what? That's what I'm asking. If the government won't fund the dentist, then that's not considered healthcare. And if it is considered healthcare, but they won't fund it, then it's not universal. And so that's what I'm saying. That I'll be like, well, you're saying we have universal healthcare, yet I'm paying out of pocket for this bullshit. Make it make sense. Make it make sense.
Lose, you have to pay the costs of the other side.
Yeah, that makes sense, I think.
And what happens is people don't sue. It's a tremendous difference. But this country, the lawyers are very much opposed to it in this country. It's too bad.
Yeah, man, it's
too much money to be made.
It's pretty heartbreaking, I feel like.
Yep.
There was a rumor that you almost had RFK Jr. as a potential vice president.
Was that a real rumor? I don't remember hearing that.
No.
Okay. Just a rumor.
Yeah,
and did
I like him. I've always liked him. But
yeah, I like him too. He's Bobby.
Good guy. I don't know. He has the best speeches, but good guy.
And our friends. He's a friend of mine. I've known him for years.
He's a good man.
Yeah.
He's in there pitching. It's tough. It's a two-party system, and he's a third party. It's a tough thing.
Not anymore.
Registered now in New York. I see New York, and the Democrats have really opposed him vehemently. I haven't, but the Democrats have really opposed him.
That's why I think was it today. I just saw it trending on Twitter that he dropped out and endorsed Donnie. Let's go. Chubb said it don't make fucking sense. It's a national scandal. Quick Google tells all. I mean, I believe you. I don't need to Google it, but yeah, that would be my number one thing. Like, either we have universal healthcare or we don't. If you have a reason to not pay for the dentistry, then let's apply that reasoning to everything else. Or if we're going to pay for everything else, let's pay for dentistry. You can't have it both ways. That would be my position. Nordic Born said it was a rumor or a possible choice for VP. Yeah, I wouldn't have been in favor of that. Nah, he's all ready. I think Trump is all ready to cozy with Israel. I'm good.
You think he should be allowed to run everywhere?
Hell yeah.
Well, the laws don't allow that.
Okay.
And the laws don't allow, unless you have 15 or 20%, whatever it is, they don't allow you to debate. You don't have to debate, so you can't get on the stage. You can't. The debates are very important. I mean,
it should be like a low number. Like, we want to see, if for no other reason than getting more eyes on the eventual nominee. The more people you have in the debate, the more people are going to care. Seems like simple marketing and broadcasting to me, but what the fuck do I know?
I had a debate with Joe Biden.
Oh yeah,
and that was a very consequential debate, to put it mildly.
Well, yeah,
have you heard like how bad he is, how he's been at the DNC? Let's see. Let's just see if I can really quick. My DNC. If we can, I'm not gonna spend too long on this, but wait, we have to watch this. What is it? What do they do? Joe Biden's speech at DNC. So shout out to Freedom Tunes.
I'll do the song and dance, Joe. No!
No, man. I don't want to. Vote for Kamala. vote for Kamala. Yes, you should. Yes, you should. She's a better candidate. She's a better candidate. She's so good. I'm not good.
Good job, Joe.
That's only half of the video. Holy
You can
shit.
take it
Okay.
away now.
No, they keep me in a box, man. Help, no. I'm not so good.
Isn't he so funny? Give it up for Joe, everyone.
All right, what did he actually say?
In the pandemic, Kamala helped states and cities get back their schools back open. In the pandemic.
Did you know? Of course not. What are you talking about, bro? What you mean? Give me something good. Give me something. Oh, what did he say?
I am too old to gild the lily. 2 days ago, I turned 78, the oldest man in my family before generation.
That's still younger than Biden and Trump.
And the only personal vanity I want to assert is I'm still younger than Donald Trump.
All right. Come on. Where, like, really? Nothing with, I guess YouTube is the winner. Let's see. Joe Biden, DNC. I don't want the full speech. I want the bullshit parts. I want the fun stuff. What is this? Why don't they have the number here anymore? Where's the number? How long is this? That is obnoxious. What the fuck is this shit?
Something is
That is obnoxious. What? See, the number's here. Where are the numbers here?
Donald Trump calls America a failing nation. No, I'm sorry, but think about this. Think about this.
He's right.
He publicly says to the whole world, I'm going to say something outrageous. I know more foreign leaders by their first names and know them well than anybody alive.
Yeah, because all you've done with your entire life is be a fucking shill for the establishment.
Just because I'm so damn old.
Agreed.
But I'm not joking.
I know you're
Think
not.
of the message he sends around the world when he talks about America being a failing nation. He says we're losing. He's the loser. He's dead wrong. And we'll keep working to bring hostages home and end the war in Gaza and bring peace and security in the Middle East.
Shout out to Day Video. Welcome to the party. Good one. 78, what was this, 30 years ago? I mean, he's still younger than this motherfucker. And, you know, I mean, he's not running anymore, so it doesn't matter. But, you know.
As you know, I wrote a peace treaty for Gaza. A few days ago, I put forward a proposal that brought us closer to doing
True, Nick. True. Trump is obviously in better condition than Clinton is.
than we've done since October 7th. We're working around the clock, my Secretary of State, to prevent a wider war and reunite hostages with their families and surge humanitarian health and food assistance into Gaza now. To end the civilian suffering of the Palestinian people. And finally deliver a ceasefire.
Shout out to CB Gola. Said, I'm no genius, but being trillions of dollars in debt makes you a loser. Agreed. I don't know where there was, like, you know, some pretty bad mess ups, but I'm not gonna take. I mean, y'all have heard Joe Biden being Joe Biden, so you get it. Shout out to a Curious Rose. Welcome to the party. Said hearing him talk about this is exactly what the country needs to hear. Real life addiction. It doesn't matter who you are. We've all been affected by addiction one way or another. Hell yeah. Welcome to the party, and very well said. Let's jump back into it.
They're very important. I mean, I had a debate with Joe Biden.
Oh yeah,
and that was a very meaningful, that was a very consequential debate, to put it mildly.
Well, yeah, they took the hand out of the puppet after that.
Well, they wanted to debate. They gave me everything that I didn't want, CNN and then they gave me Dana Bash and Jake Tapper. Now remember this: they were very straight during that debate. I gained a certain respect because Jake Tapper, who I call Fake Tapper, but I don't do that.
I saw him at Whole Foods.
I don't do that so much anymore. You did, but I thought they were very even-handed. If you want to know the truth during the debate.
I agree. I don't think they did anything that egregious. I think, as much as I like Megyn Kelly in the 2016 election, that moment, let's get that moment. I mean, come on. If you haven't seen it, or if you haven't seen it in a while, we'll do Donald Trump, Rosie O'Donnell. Come on, baby.
One of the things.
Yes, this was 2016. This was August or 2015. Yeah, this is for the 2016 election.
Things people love about you is you speak your mind and you don't use a politician's filter.
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
However, that is not without its downsides, in particular when it comes to women. You've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals. Your Twitter account.
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
You have any idea, as an anti-Trumper, how fucking mad I was when I heard that? But now, I'm like, why were you mad, you stupid little bitch?
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
No, it wasn't. Your Twitter account.
Nope, you lost it, Megan. You lost it. I love you, Megan. You're goddamn beautiful, but you lost it. Folks, I got a few hostages back the other day. They were dead. Who dat? Did I miss something? Miss Sizemore said, Theo Von interviewing Trump is so surreal to me. I said, shit, me too. Dave Video said, Theo Von interviewing Trump makes perfect sense to me. It's the only thing that that accent makes sense doing. Hey, let's be nice to fucking Theo. Come on. Theo's a fucking national goddamn Trevor.
But I thought they were very even-handed, if you want to know the truth during the debate.
I didn't feel like...
Yeah, I've seen that one. Yeah, definitely check that out. If you haven't seen Judge Joe Brown on Trump and he talks about Kamala, he's talking about, well, is this a recent thing when he was talking about Kamala? Because I saw a clip that he was talking about Kamala and it was just like, she's nothing. But so I've definitely seen that. But yeah, check that out.
But I thought they were very even-handed, if you want to know the truth during the debate.
I didn't feel like they like the moderate. I didn't feel like that they pushed a lot of
stuff. They
stuff.
had certain pressure on them to be even-handed. I think it's hard to not do that, but they were very even-handed, and it was a great debate, but a very important debate.
Well, after that, it seemed like suddenly everybody had been like, "Oh, Biden's fine." In America, for like 18 months. Like my dad was really old when I was born. My dad was 70 when I was born, right?
Yeah, before he gets into that, let's shout out our boy again. Fuck, Master General with 5 more gifted memberships. Thank you so very much again, guys. If you were gifted a membership, make sure you join that Discord. That is where you're gonna get your goodies in the after party. Come on through. Thank you so very, very much, sir.
Right.
So I don't like seeing senior citizens take advantage of, right? I felt like that happened a lot when I was a kid. And so I think for me, it reflected on me, like it made me really angry because I was like, I know this guy's not well. It's not fair to pretend that he's well. It's not fair to him because he doesn't know you're pretending, you know? And it just seemed like the cruelest thing you could do. And then we're all kind of supposed to believe this thing that we know is not real. Our media is just saying this is real. And we're like, we're all just being gaslit as humans about something that's like moral. Like this is a human man. This is somebody's grandfather. And
music? What happened to the captions?
And then they just disappear. He just disappears. And suddenly it's like
it was a coup.
Kamala is the one that went in. What do you think happened in the back rooms there? Because that almost was overnight that happened.
I know.
They specifically set up the debate so that they could see where he's at in the hot seat. And he failed. And they were like, oh, fuck, we can't hide this anymore. And it was a coup.
Know what happened. And you're not supposed to do that. It's not supposed to be probably constitutional. She got no votes. He got 14 million votes. All of a sudden, they're telling him to get out, or they threatened him.
But who are
And
they
he is
when
an
they say
angry
that?
Great question.
person. Well, I would say Schumer, Pelosi, and numerous other people.
The deep state.
The heads of the Democrat Party.
Yeah.
And they did. They threatened him violently, I think. And he
You
didn't
think
want to
they
get out.
really
Remember, he said, only God will get me out, right? Only God will get me.
Somebody dressed up like God and just chased him out of there.
Yeah. And what happened is they went to him and they said, this was after the debate. Now, if he didn't have the debate, he would still be running.
Yeah.
And wouldn't that? So, okay, let's do another poll. Who would you prefer? And it doesn't even matter which side you're on. Who would you prefer be the Democratic nominee? Would you rather it have been Biden? Biden, I can spell. Or Kamala. Jesus. Let me know.
So they set him up. They knew they were going to pull it.
That I don't know. I mean, he had his debate.
Biden can't walk. His hip will go out.
Maybe he wanted to. I heard he didn't. I heard they offered me things that I would never accept, and I accepted them. They said CNN. They said Jake Tapper, Dana Bash. They said all things that I could not take, and I accepted all of them. And look, it was a good debate for me. It wasn't a good debate for him. I think he'd still be running right now. You wouldn't have her. She was one of the most disrespected people in the whole country. She was a failed vice president.
Yep.
She was the.
Have you guys seen the compilations of what people were like CNN people saying about Kamala the week or right before Biden dropped out, and then on a dime switched, and oh my God, JD Vance is so weird.
Come on, man.
I don't want to say this. Bogolo? CB Ogolo? CB said the Trump-Obama deal with Judge Joe Brown was in like 2020, but he went after Kamala on the Kwame Brown podcast in 2020 with the Mamas Cooking Beef he had with Joe Brown, calling her Kumquela. Not the best, but I'll take it. Dave Video said, if you want Trump to win, you have to choose Biden.
What?
Huh? Yeah, I saw that's not really relevant to what we're doing here. So.
Respected people in the whole country. She was a failed vice president. She was the most. She was considered the worst vice president in the history of our country. She had no chance. If you go back 6 weeks, they were saying how bad she was.
Oh. Sorry. Sometimes I'm a little slow. I forgot about the poll. But yeah, I agree with you. I think that the fact that let's let you guys fill that out more, and then I'll say
she had no chance. If you go back 6 weeks, they were saying how bad she was, and they wanted to choose from 11 different people.
Do you feel?
I thought that's what they were going to have.
Oh, you thought that's really good? Well, that would have seemed more democratic, I think.
They were
democratic. Democratic. They care about democracy.
Wanted to be politically correct, and they chose her.
I feel like it would have seemed more, but dude, I got so angry when they sidetracked Bernie.
Shout out to Ayush Gupta, who got here 3 minutes too late to see the Freedom Tunes clip that we already watched. Welcome to the party, brother. We did watch it, and it is fucking funny. Good to see you. Good to see you, as always.
I feel like it would have seemed more, but dude, I got so angry when they sidetracked Bernie a few years ago. That wasn't.
I said shit. Me too. So much so that I fucking thought that I needed to vote for that fucking cunt, Hillary goddamn Clinton. The shame I feel for having gone out. I left my home. I used gas. I went to a physical place and said, yes, Hillary Clinton, please.
Loser. Stupid.
Dogma can make the most intelligent people. Not that I'm the most intelligent person. But dogma can make intelligent people do very, 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 very stupid things. We've been talking about my drug addiction. I spent years in that. I don't love that part of my life. But it's not nearly as shameful from having voted for Hillary Clinton to be the president of the United States of America.
It would have seemed more, but dude, I got so angry when they sidetracked Bernie a few years ago. Or that wasn't fair. It
happened to Bernie twice.
Yeah,
You think about it.
Yeah. Oh, it was crazy. Yeah, 2016 and 22. He just got, it just wasn't cool. Like whatever you think, it's just like we have to be able to believe.
Well, do
that.
you like Bernie? Are you friends with him or something?
No, I met him the other day.
Was that the first time?
It was the first time.
Were you impressed by him?
Yeah.
One thing, he's still sharp, right?
Oh yeah, he's still sharp.
He doesn't suffer from what Biden did.
No.
Mental dullness.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
mentally gone.
Biden is
mentally
like,
gone.
We got to own our bullshit. And that is my bullshit.
Somebody put a merry-go-round in his head, I heard. But that's, but they didn't plug it in. They didn't tell him.
Yeah. That's probably right.
But
make sure you hit the poll, guys. We're 57-43. We're very close. Very, very close.
No, one thing I liked about Bernie, well, one of the things is the healthcare. I just feel like we spend so much money in different places and people are sick and the opioid epidemic. I just feel like, and the lower cost of drugs, those are things that
because I got insulin down and they took credit for it, but I got it down to $35.
Yep.
And I said, I hope I win because somebody's going to take credit. It takes a period of time before it kicks in.
Yep.
Statutorily. And I got it down to $35, which is a very low price.
And they just took credit for it.
And they took credit for it, which is, now I'm taking credit because I'm talking to you.
Well, yeah, if you did it, then you should be able to take credit for it.
I just watched her performance today. Simple. So she went out and.
Who, Kamala?
She lied about everything. She said, this Trump tax, that Trump tax, that Trump tax. He's going to tax this. He's going to tax all these different things. And I'm not going to tax them. She made it up. Look, people in politics, many of them, not all of them, are really liars, but she's really a liar. She made up a series of lots of different taxes that Trump's going to charge you on clothing. He's going to charge you on this or that. And actually, she's the one. Your taxes are going to go up by 4 times. And
hey, we got him back in the chair. That shroom trip really helped. Let's go. Buddy in the chair. Let's just give him a treat just for being in the chair. There you go, buddy boy. See, it works out when you're in the chair. You're on camera the whole time. It works out, bro. I need you there. Just chill.
The Trump tax cuts, because I got the largest tax cuts ever, but they expire in a number of months pretty soon. She has to be able to do something about it. And she's unwilling and incapable. I'll tell you what, if she's the worst vice president ever. He's the worst president ever, a deadly combination. And we have a country where the borders are bad, where the world is blowing up. You look at Israel, you look at Ukraine, you look at all the different things that are happening. She has no clue. And you know what I say about her? Why don't you do it? She complains about everything. She's been there for 3.5 years. Why don't you do it? All you have to do is say, why didn't you do it? Why didn't you fix it? You could fix it right now. Don't, do whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
And she won't talk to you and she won't talk to anybody. She won't be interviewed.
She's welcome to come on. I would love to get to talk to her.
I'm sure she'd be very exciting.
Ain't gonna happen.
Actually, you could make her exciting. Probably.
You think?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, I love Theo. And Theo has something. But even he, I don't think would be able to make Kamala Harris be an interesting person. Hey, shout out to Rumple Trench Columbo podcast with another $5 pump in your chair. There you go. Another treat for Morty. Thank you so very, very much. And we are going to finish this out. I am not going to leave you guys hanging. Thank you so very much, guys. You guys are amazing.
She's a good roller skater. That's what I heard, which is crazy.
That's about it.
I mean, look, we're going to wrap it up soon. Okay.
Yeah,
is everything? Okay, Donald. Sorry.
He's like, he did it again. Okay, Donald.
I mean, look, we're going to wrap it up soon. Okay.
Yeah,
is everything? Okay, done.
He's like, get me the fuck out of here.
Sorry. Speaking of Kamala and speaking of the border, we had 2 Border Patrol agents that came on in the past 2 years, right? Because we wanted to learn about it from people that are there on the ground. And one of the things that we found out was a lot of times they keep arresting the same people because the people that are coming in illegally aren't being prosecuted. That's one of the biggest problems they were saying. What can we do differently to make things safe at the border? It's the fact that a father can't sleep at night because he doesn't know who's going through his yard or going through it. It's just not fair. It's not what you sign up for when you're an American. What are you going to do differently?
So the borders, well, I did it. We had the best border.
Oh, the wall, they should have kept it. I agree.
We had the wall built.
And you notice how right outside the DNC, the entire thing is lined with what? A wall to keep people away. It's almost like the Democrats know that walls work.
We had more going to come long beyond what I promised.
And that's, you know what? Speaking of that, why the fuck? Maybe not in this conversation, because that's not what this is. But why the fuck is he not hammering? Like, yo, everybody called me fucking racist and crazy. Can we build the fucking wall now? I was right the whole fucking time. 9 years ago, you called me a fucking racist. And now where are we? Maybe not like that, but like, hey, look, okay, I understood. We want to be nice to the brown people. And we just say that, because they're brown, they must be so special. Sure. But look at what the fuck we are. Do you want a wall? Or do you want a country? Or do you want neither? I messed that up. But you know what I mean. Do you want a wall or do you not want a country?
I agree.
We had the wall built. We had more going to come long beyond what I promised. I built hundreds of miles of wall, and it worked. Walls work. Walls and wheels. I say it all the time. Two things that never get obsolete.
Well,
wheels and walls.
Well, they also supplied infrastructure. Like, people don't understand, the wall also was a place where Border Patrol agents could go to get water, to get food, to rest. It provided like a shelter out there as well.
It worked.
They're in the middle of nowhere. They said it worked. The two that I've spoken to said it worked.
And I was going to do 200 miles of wall. We had it built, and to the specifications of the Border Patrol. We were going to put it up, and it would take 3 weeks to put it up. That's an additional
3 weeks,
200 miles to fill up certain areas that, when you make the wall, then all of a sudden they start coming through other areas. We had it wired, and they wouldn't do it. They wouldn't put it up. And I realized they wanted open borders. Kamala wants open borders. She's going to have open borders. We'll have 50, 60 million people because of them.
Sick.
We have.
Yeah, shout out to Nick. And yeah, every time you hear that doodle-doo, that is somebody joining the after party. We got a bunch of people in there. As soon as we are done here, we are headed over there. There's a bunch that I have to say that I'm not allowed to say on YouTube. So make sure you join. And I'm going to pin the message. If you want to become a member, if you didn't get gifted one, it starts at just $2.99, and that gives you a full month. That's 12 after parties. 12 after parties for $3. If you don't like it, just don't sign up again.
Over 20 million people, in my opinion, right now that came into our country. Many come from prisons, jails, mental institutions, many terrorists.
They're rapists.
Do you know that other countries now, their crime rate is way down because they're sending all their criminals to us?
It's a party.
They're sending all of their criminals to us.
I wish you would stop using this. We did some cursory research on this, and that doesn't fucking make sense.
And who would take this? Why is this a good thing? It's a horrible. She should be ashamed. And, she was the border czar, too. He put her in.
No, CNN said she was never the border czar, and you made that up, and that's a right-wing conspiracy.
Gosh, she was the worst border czar in the history of the world.
She's a roller skater. That's what somebody told me the other day.
She's terrible.
But what are you going to do? What's going to happen with the border?
What does that even mean? She's a roller skater. Okay.
You're back.
We're going to seal the border, and I had it very well sealed. We had the most successful border in the history of our country. We're going to seal the border. We're going to finish up certain areas of the wall because they didn't do it. And we're going to have an unbelievable border. And we're going to spend a lot of time getting the criminals out. Look, we have murderers in our country.
Oh, I don't think people should be allowed to be in our country if they're criminals.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
hey, if you come here and you're not allowed, you know what that makes you? A criminal.
Bingo. You're going to be very unhappy to know that we have a lot of people, hundreds of thousands of murderers. We have people, drug dealers talking about drugs. It's not even believable that they'll do it. So what they've done is they've allowed.
Let's not forget the human fucking trafficking that has been confirmed by CBP agents.
Murderers, people in prisons, people in jails, people in mental institutions in San Jose, and terrorists to pour into our country by the hundreds of thousands. And they are in our country right now. And the country that brought them out said, if you ever come back, we're giving you the death penalty or we're going to kill you.
Well, in Brooklyn alone, there's a huge building that is housing just Haitian people. They're just housing this wandering around Brooklyn all the time. My friends are telling me.
They have some rough people too, really rough people.
So if you get reelected to the board, you're going to continue that project.
Well, I
we're going to make sure it's safe.
We had the safest border and the best border in the history of our country. And now it's a disaster.
Somebody invited Biden to the border and they said he went to a Borders Books, dude. And I was like, that's...
Well, they invited her and she went to a place that doesn't have a problem, you know.
Bro, oh my God. How did nobody, oh my God. Can you imagine if a politician actually came to the border czar? It's like, maybe you went to a Borders Book. Like, bro, that would have destroyed the internet.
It's a disaster. She is the worst vice president. It's the worst administration in the history of our country. She's a part of it. And she won't do an interview. She would never do an interview like this. She won't do an interview.
Yeah, I want to learn more about her.
Well, I think you should ask her to come
on. Tell Barron I said thanks.
I'm coming.
Man.
Good.
Yeah.
He's a big fan.
I hope to get to meet him someday. He seems like a neat kid.
Yeah, he is. He's great.
Is he? Yeah. And yeah, thank you for your time. I can't believe that I got to be able to sit down with you. I'm grateful to Dana White as well for setting this up. And I just appreciate you giving me your time today, Donald Trump.
Thank you so much. And good luck with your situation. You're going to do it. You beat it, right? You beat it. Good luck with it.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
MAGA, let's fucking go. Let's go. That was amazing. That was beautiful. That was such a unique and authentic conversation. Wow. That is very, very. I'm so glad that we went through. We went through that. I'm so glad that happened, and I'm really glad that. Let's see what some of the comments look like. Because I imagine a lot of people who watch Theo are not all of them, but I imagine a lot of people in any group are going to be super anti-hating Trump. Let's grab some of you guys first. You said shared gut with Gutfell. Okay, we'll get to that in the after party. So you guys are missing out. Y'all missing out. Nick, thank you for being here, of course. Rumble Trenchcoat said it would be even worse than going to the Four Seasons car repair or whatever the heck that was.
What?
Huh? I don't understand. Did I forget that I just said something that was directly relevant to that? I do that sometimes. No? Okay. I'm right over my head. Sorry. I'm stupid sometimes. Well, if we go to our poll, who would you prefer to be the Democratic nominee? 69% of you. How is that a thing? 10 votes. 10 votes. And it says 69% and 30%. The math ain't mathin'. So I'm going to just go and say 7 of you said Biden and 3 of you said Kamala. And, I think that applies. Well, if he went to the border books instead of the border, it would be even worse than going to the Four Seasons car repair or whatever the heck. Gotcha. Beautiful. Did I take your suggestion? Well, you're welcome. I don't remember what it is. Again, I'm in the moment here, but I appreciate you guys so very, very. Oh, wait, comments. We wanted to see what the comments are like. Let's see. Okay. So only Theo can interview Bernie Sanders and Donald Trump in a week, then turn around and interview a lunch lady and a mall cop. Truly incredible. My dad was 70 my dad was 70 when I was born, so I don't like senior citizens being taken advantage of. Yeah, 70 when he was born. Saying cocaine will turn you into a damn owl, homie. You'll be your own street lamp. To a literal president is just incredible. Trump has no idea Theo dressed up for this. Theo's like the real life Forrest Gump. Oh my God. At hundreds of millions of followers. I don't even know how many people there are. I bet Joe Rogan is watching from home in pain from so much laughter. That's what we always wanted. Trump on Rogan. But I mean, yeah, people are down with it. People are down with it, and like again, you see a lot of people talking about both sides, and I'm liking it. I'm liking it. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, Rumple Trenchcoat. I really do appreciate you guys, all of you guys, for being here. Whether you were here for 5 minutes or 5 hours, we're only for 3 hours, you know what I mean. Whether you're here for 3 minutes or 3 hours, I really, really, really do appreciate you guys. It is, it's not a show without you. It is not a show without you. And yes, one more time, guys, we are headed over to that Discord. We already have 5 people in the room. I am about to join, and I just got to say thank you. Thank you so very, very much. If you are here, you are a part of this, and we are building. And I'm so glad. I'm so glad. So let's shout out our boy Zippy with the Rumble Rant. We have Rumble Trenchcoat, Mike's Shitty Internet Provider with some gifted memberships. Cunt Shops 23 became a member. Our boy Funk Master General with 2 different $10 super chats. We had Jad Allen with 5 gifted memberships. Funk Master came in with 5 more. And Rumble Trenchcoat just had to close it out with 1 more 5. So to give that little boy 1 more treat. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. He's so cute. He's so cute. Thank you, guys. Thank you so very, very much. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate you guys being here. And again, whether you can donate or not, the time that you're spending here, the time that you're being in the chat, sharing the video, all of that stuff really, really does help. And again, it's not just about me sitting here and saying things so that you give me money. It's about building that community. We are building a community. We are doing something real. And if that is something you're interested in, it's free. Check it the fuck out. I will see you guys over there. Thank you so very, very much. Once again, this is Morty, and I have been your host, Lutch, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Until next time, guys, we are out of here. Peace.